Would anybody? Hold on. Let me get you your faxpiration question.
I was able to get.
All right, sweet.
I was laughing. It's like you're not going to see anything on stream because it's coming from my perspective. So,
so if you've this whole time have been looking at that loading screen, you're not going to get in. You gotta cancel and try again. Because I've restarted it since you have been trying to log in, and it probably will not let you because you're queued up for a server that's basically no longer there.
Yeah,
so yeah. Okay. All right. Faxpiration question for this week is. Oh, that's awkward. All right. What is your character's scent? Bonus points for a description that sounds like it could be from a bad or awesome fanfic. All right. So I'm gonna clear chat so we get better performance. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in. While you ruminate on that, would somebody for a point of DM inspiration like to give me a summary of what happened last time on Curse of Strahd Daybreak? Going once. Going twice. Nobody.
Shaking my head.
Okay.
I saw last session and no one spoke up. How you guys giving me NPCs DM inspiration?
All right. I will do the recap. All right.
I threw out one.
What?
I threw out one.
Oh, you did? Oh, the fact that I didn't see it probably means that I didn't actually connect to the server properly. Did anybody else?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, all right.
I see it.
Yeah, I saw it.
I'll be right there. I'm the kid that's going to be doing Theater of the Mind today. All right, go ahead and tell me. Tell us what happened.
All right. Well, last time on Curse of Strahd. Oh, right. We were standing outside in the rain, looking at a broken-ass windmill. I don't know what problems would have gone on here, but we decided to go in so we can get out of the rain. Apparently this is a bakery as well. And really the only bakery that I've heard of so far, old Antha. But it seems like she wasn't there. It was one of her daughters, Bella. Fortunately, she didn't want to host us because a crap ton of people with us. But it seemed Anna was able to convince her to at least let us stay for a few minutes while negotiating to sell more pastries at Vallaki. Sure. And then abruptly, Eric and Anna started acting weird and started shooing us out back into the rain. So wet, dry, and then wet again. But we ended up making our way back to the crossroads to where we tried to camp for the night. Apparently, when I asked Reed, he said that whatever they were doing in that bakery, their ingredients were not what they said they were. I'll just leave at that for right now. We were camping. Speaking of Reed, he was on watch. He got surprised by some old lady. Apparently, according to Tiernan, she's also blind and delusional. She called herself a ghost hunter, which I don't know why she's surprised, because this place. But after some, I guess, negotiations, she's now a part of our group, and she has a cart and a donkey and a horse. So we slept, woke up in the morning, continued the Vallaki for a couple hours, arrived at the gate. The guards were seeming a bit suspicious of us, pretty rightly so. A bunch of travelers just showing up. So they went to go grab their boss, who's probably one of the biggest dudes I have seen in quite some time. Also one of the first, big old red arm with scales and fire. I shouldn't be surprised anymore, but seeing that was a bit off. I guess his name is Isaac Strasny, and he's the guard captain of Vallaki. He was willing to let us in, but he wanted us to meet with the Baron of Vallaki, for dinner. So we agreed to that, but he allowed us to go get situated first. So we went around town trying to get our bearings a little bit, grabbed up a couple of items, went to go look for Anna's old home, came across the town square. Apparently people who aren't enforcing the rule of happiness or something like that get put in the stocks and get pissed on, which actually super angry. But Ree was able to intervene and tell those people to bugger off. Apparently even kids aren't spared from this, so Vallaki is making a great impression so far. Went to Anna's old home. Apparently the people who live there now found her super suspicious and did not let her in, so I don't know what to do with that. But then we decided to go to the Blue Water Inn, which seems to be probably the only inn in this town. The people were nice, though they seem to be charging quite a bit for the rooms and also meals. That's probably because of the wine shortage, so gotta figure out a deal with that. And talking to this Danica lady who works there, see if we can't broker up some sort of deal. That's where we left off.
All right, yeah, take your point of DM inspiration. All right, so does anybody want to answer the Factspiration question for a D6 Bardic Inspiration that will last the entire session or until you use it? The question being, what is your character's scent? Bonus points for description that sounds like it could be from a bad or awesome fan fiction.
See, I think I answered this one about Tiernan already, so I am not going to do this.
Okay, fair.
I think I'll roll then.
Okay. All right. Anyone else? Oh, wow. Okay. Eric. Yeah, starting off strong. Going once, going twice. All right. What does Eric Joaquin smell like? So that we all can close our eyes and go on this scent journey with you.
I want to say copper iron, a bit scent of oil, and perhaps nutmeg.
Okay. Nutmeg, a little bit of oil, and a hint of copper and iron. Okay. All right. You may ask the same question of any NPC you've met previously on your adventure, at your own peril. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can pass. You can pass if you want.
No. I'm gonna play it safe, Irina.
That was not the safe answer.
It was not, and that was what I was going to choose too if I answer.
All right, so Irina Koliana, much like everyone in Barovia, is a stinky. They have some issues with water. They don't have any fresh running water. When you do bathe, you use like a lye powder with cold ass rainwater from a barrel. So bathing is not like a joyful activity. But as a lot of people are learning in this modern age, you've been bamboozled. You really don't have to bathe all that much. The human body sort of takes care of itself. So while she is stinky, she is not like dirty, if that makes sense. But she has sort of a lingering like odor about her of an unwashed person who still sort of, takes care of herself. She also smells of a weird collection of good and bad smells, because as a healer, she does keep with her and spend a lot of time with medicines, tinctures, herbs, insects, leeches, different types of soils and plants that they believe are useful for medicinal purposes. So it's just a very strange potpourri of unpleasant and pleasant smells wherever she goes, but certainly distinct. in that bouquet of strange aromas. All right, so there you go. Let's see. We will resume play in the Blue Moon Tavern. I think that's what it's called. Blue Moon Tavern.
Other.
Blue Water. Thank you.
I wish I had Blue Moon this morning.
Yeah. So I have added a document here called Merchants of Vallaki. It does include all of the merchants that you can see in the town, and the names of those places. I started to build interactable buildings for all of these, and I can give you guys observation bennies to this. There should be a folder called Vallaki where these things will be showing up. And you guys are just going to be the guinea pigs because I've never bothered to set up shops before, because I'm just the worst DM in the whole world. So if you are able to interact with them and buy shit and stuff, that would be great. But if you can't, then I need to probably tinker with it some more after the session. But there should currently be 3 shops that you guys should be able to access: Stefanovich and Sons Apothecary, the Cracked Anvil, and the Straight Arrow. And I am going to continue to try to add more as soon as I can. But it ended up being a bit more intense than I thought to consolidate all of the different merchants and get their shops built. So I underestimated how much time I would have had. I was hoping to work on it on Thursday night as well, so it's a little behind.
What is it?
This is Monk's Enhanced Journals. Actually allows you to build shops. Yeah. So I don't know if you could go and try to buy like a single arrow or something like from the Straight Arrow. I could see if it works or not.
I can try.
Okay.
I guess the question is, give us have money to purchase.
I'm also curious, if I drag it out onto the scene, what is it going to look like? Is it going to just be? Is it going to be like clickable? Will you be able to interact with it? Okay, so it's just a Straight Arrow over here. And if you click it, does it open?
It opens the shop.
Oh, neat. Okay, that's pretty cool. So I could probably just drag all the shops down here for you guys. Would you prefer the shop sign, or do you want the picture of the merchant? In the
well, we can see the name when we hover over.
Kind of
it,
like
so-
shop sign.
Okay, yeah. So I'll just throw the shop signs down.
Oh yeah, it works.
Sweet.
Purchase stuff. I'm
Okay.
That for my inventory now.
Did it take your money?
Yeah, I just put in 1 gold. Well, no, it didn't take my money though. So.
Oh, it didn't take your money. Ah, shit. So they're not set up properly then. Yeah.
Well,
Alright.
I don't know if you have to confirm it on your side or not. Do you?
Yeah, I didn't get a pop-up for it though. I'm supposed to get like a pop-up because you guys are supposed to request. All right, player purchasing is visible. Let's see. Won't purchase from players. Oh, you can even try to sell shit to them, but at no point is it asking me to do it. So maybe I didn't set it up properly.
It also just said that the shop, the Cracked Anvil, closed and shut down.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, hold on. All right, open to.
Now it's open again.
All right, so it should make you request to purchase.
I'll try again and see if
Okay.
it changes. Okay, purchase 1.
Oh, it says you have requested a quiver. So how do I? Oh, it's showing up in chat. Oh, fuck yeah. Okay. So you want to buy a quiver for 1 gold, accept. So now it should take your gold and give you a quiver.
And I assume those are full, right?
Oh, the quiver? No, it's just for holding.
It's
It's
just a
yeah,
container.
it's a container.
That's
Alright.
Jack.
Okay.
But
Oh,
you
but
said
what,
it
though?
showed the chat image. I think it's only for the D chat image. I don't see anything.
Oh, okay. Here, I'll
Yeah.
show you. I'll show you guys what it looks like because I know a lot of you guys like to DM also. So here, reveal.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Oh, you able to see it? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
And
it just
I assume
didn't-
leather armor.
Okay.
Go ahead.
There you go.
I'll delete the quiver and take.
And add your money back in. Okay. So when you
No,
went
I
to
never
buy,
had-
oh, you never had a gold?
No, I was testing it to see if it would work.
Oh, okay. Well, when I approved it, it actually said you didn't have enough money. It like tattletaled on you, so which is it's pretty cool.
And leather armor's at the trap paw, I assume.
Yes.
Okay.
That one is still under construction. Anyways, so the other thing that I said I would get for you guys was a list of what recipes were included in those initial books. Did I share those out or no?
Initial books.
Yeah, remember
ones
the
that the
guy at the
apothecary-
apothecary was selling these books for you.
I don't think you have yet. No.
Okay, then I'll go ahead and post those up. They basically provide the apprentice recipes for those things. So I'm going to put them into crafting. All right, so there's that. I gotta. All right. Wow, the formatting is fantastic. Good job. All right, let's see. We got that. And we go down here. There we go. So the alkahest, the apothecary, and the tincturer books, that's what they would provide. And then for the crafting book, it's your big boy. So hold on. There is the novice crafting book, which teaches you to make all of that shit. There's also the novice alchemy book, which teaches you how to make all of that shit. And I really wish it would format a little bit better when I paste them in, but there we go.
The novice alchemy book, is that different than the alkahest, apothecary, and tincturer? Is that
Yeah.
separate?
Right. Now the novice books, he would not be charging 50 for. He would let those go for 10.
50? I thought he told us 10 last time.
What? Did he tell you 10 last time? Oh man, that's really generous of him.
I thought so.
Oh, because what I was like setting these
Well,
up.
it could have been. You could have been talking about the novice books instead. I don't know.
Yeah, the books are very expensive in this setting because there's a particular gentleman who collects all the books and doesn't like people to have books. So I can't tell you who that guy is.
He's smart, isn't it?
Does he happen to have a certain curse?
he maybe has a curse. So those are the books that he has available. Those are the books that he has available. And so the two novice books would be 10, and then the other books would be we won't say 50. We'll say since they're price, we'll say 25. But generally, most books cost about 25 gold, just because it's hard to make and find books nowadays. And he does actually have some lore books as well, which could be pretty useful. Oh, wait. He doesn't have lore books. Sorry. He says if you're looking for more books, you go to Walpole over at the at the Spine Mine, which is the bookstore and antiquity shop. And that guy has books of lore. So if you're interested in books that will help you with knowledge checks and things like that, help you understand the world a bit more, it's available there. So, all right, cool. I think that's all the bookkeeping that I wanted to discuss. I wish it was set up a little bit better. Again, it's been a long week of fighting with Foundry hosting and all that, but here we are. So, we will resume in the tavern. You guys were enjoying or getting ready to have some food and discussing everything that you've seen so far. So, I guess take it away. I'll go ahead and try and change out the music.
I don't know if there's anything else to done. I know that Danica told an hour or talking with her again about.
Okay. All right, so you guys just want to fast forward then an hour and
Sure.
see what happens? Okay.
Unless anyone else has anything.
Well, I suppose it's that time, and I'll look around and see if we can find Danica if she's not busy.
All right, so let's see. Lex, real quick, your mic is doing that thing where it sounds like you're riding in a helicopter. So, yeah. Okay. All right. So, yeah, you guys wait around for Danica, and we're just gonna stay on this map because the tavern map is very crowded. All right. So Danica motions to you guys to meet her outside of the establishment. Does anybody follow her out? I'm assuming, like Reed, you're
Yeah.
doing the
Yeah.
face thing. Okay.
I'll be the face, and Darius, I think, is coming with me.
Okay, so Darius and Reed, you head outside to speak with Danica. And Danica says, she says, "Thank you for taking time to meet with me. I have much to discuss. You are adventurers. I can tell just by looking at you. And more so, outsiders. That means that you are capable of creating great change. And that is the sort of thing that we need right now. My husband, he is a wonderful man, but he is a stubborn man. There is some sort of issue with the wine and its distribution. I would very much like that to be resolved, but my husband, he refuses to even investigate. He believes that the wine shortage has to do with a falling out that he and his father had. But I think it might be something a bit more sinister. If you would be willing to go to the Wizards of Wine winery and check in on them, see that everything is okay, make sure everyone is safe, and find out what is causing this stop in the distribution of wine, it would be more than appreciated. I would certainly find funds to compensate you, or perhaps even an item of magical power.
Darius raises his eyebrow to that.
Well, I mean, absolutely, we would love to help you, of course. And I'll ask her where the winery is located to kind of get the rough location.
Do you have a map? I could perhaps mark it for you.
Eastmark has a map, right? Or did I just make that up?
I guess you don't have a map yet, do you? I guess you don't get to see this cool thing. Oh well.
That was,
all
I
right.
think that was one of the things that Anna was gonna purchase.
She says, "That is a pity. If you have one, I can mark it on your map. But for now, you would simply head west out of town. It is at least 2 days travel, perhaps more. You'll look for a less developed but still maintained road surrounded by vineyards. Follow that further west and you should reach the Wizards of Wine winery. There is a thing that you must know. If you arrive and everything is okay, and the reason truly is the falling out between my husband and his father, could you just tell him that Danica is asking, please set this aside for the people of Barovia. They should not be punished for whatever misdeeds you think my husband has done, whatever falling out you may have had."
Yes, of course. And we will set out soon, but we must take a couple of days to rest and resupply. Our journey was long getting here. If you could maybe see to it to help us in that regard, we would greatly appreciate it, of course, and would make this a top priority.
Well, certainly, you have already secured for yourselves lodging here. We will not be putting you out anytime soon, and there are very few new travelers into the town since the mayor, well, the burgomaster, has locked it down. What else can I do to help? I suppose I can help cover the cost of your rooms out of pocket as a hiring fee. She eyes you guys shrewdly and says, "But Vallaki is full of strife and trouble. I would like your word that my request will take precedence over any others who seek aid from you. If I hear that that is not the case, I will withdraw my coverage of your room and board."
Well, we came here on the request of Mark and Irene. They're the children of the burgomaster of Barovia. They've been shit, so Trying
And
to
I'll be
help him.
honest, there is one other quest that we are looking for a missing girl whose life may be in danger.
I see. Are you referring to the children from the orphanage? I heard there was a terrible accident. One of the children fell from the second-story window and died.
This is
No.
And then several more children have gone missing.
out of character. This is like an open sandbox where you talk to too many quest NPCs. And you're like,
That's what
"Fuck."
she's trying to say. She's trying to say, I'm only going to give you room and board if you motherfuckers agree to do my quest. She's been around, okay? She knows how this shit works. She wants you to say yes and leave immediately.
Yeah.
So that, yeah.
And then Reed's over here saying yes.
Well, I said
Well,
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
he says yes, but, and then she
Yeah.
immediately her heavily hooded eyeshadowed eyes narrow into two slits. You see the reddish brown of her eyes peering at you from the shadows created by this furrowed brow, and she says, "I am getting the feeling that you have many things on your plate already. I will not be putting you up for free unless you are my men on my payroll."
That's
That
understood.
is fair. Yes. Let us take a day to resupply and see if we can't find this girl, and see that Ismark and Arena are on their way, and then we will set off to the winery forthwith.
Well, until you are ready to swear yourselves into service, you are customers, and I have simply presented to you a business opportunity.
Thank you. So I do have actually a question. You mentioned the mayor of this town, this Baron.
Well, they call them burgermasters, but yes, they are not technically an elected position like a mayor.
We're supposed to be having dinner with him in a couple of hours. Is there anything that we should know before we go there?
Oh wow, she kind of presses her fingers to her temple and she says, "Well, he has been taken by madness, if I am telling you the truth, but please never say that to anyone, that you heard it from me or anyone else. He wants everyone to be happy, and he is convinced that this happiness will create some sort of spectacular magical effect. We can do nothing but just play along, for none of us want to have our holdings seized, or be penalized or imprisoned or worse."
Darius just kind of just looks around at I guess the scenery of right here, and just like, has any of that shit been actually working?
Well, that is why you must use caution with him. He hates the devil and does not want to hear his name spoken aloud. To do so is to invite imprisonment or perhaps even death.
Yeah, the gold guards told us that one. Amen.
You will also need to put on a big smile. Do not bring any negativity into your meeting with him. And do not laugh at any of his ideas or disparage his goals. He is a sensitive man. And he has that bruiser, Isaac, working for him.
Sounds like a producer.
She kind of looks at you. Producer of...
Plays.
Plays.
I don't believe he works in the theater. But in a way, he sort of does, because the theater of all these pageantries and celebrations.
I think Reed's saying that this burgomaster sounds like a hard guy to please.
Absolutely, yes. His wife, she used to be such an interesting person, but now she fears for her own life, I think, and she just quietly agrees to whatever new idea is presented by the burgomaster. And his own son, his actual son, hasn't been seen in months. It's like he is just hiding in the house or locked away somewhere.
Oh,
It has to be hard for Victor, having that Isaac Strasny adopted into the family and given so much responsibility.
Well, I guess we'll learn more when we get to dinner tonight.
Is there any other questions that you have? I have a few more minutes before I must head back inside.
Do you know anything about that lake? I think we saw it on our way up here.
Oh, Lake Zarovich. Yes, the town does a great deal of fishing from the lake. But
it
beyond that, it's nowhere to travel to or go anywhere.
Is it known as the King Waters, by chance?
It is named after the Strahd's father, so I suppose. I don't think anyone calls it that, though.
Is it dangerous, that area?
Everything in Barovia is dangerous. The lake has its own fair share of creatures and dangers. Most especially, there is the lake monster, a great serpentine beast that normally stays sleeping at the bottom. The lake is deep. Some say bottomless. But every now and again, a great serpent rises from the lake and begins to hunt, ruining all of the fishing trade for months until it goes dormant again. Then, of course, there are the sirens of the lake. They will occasionally sing their enchanting songs and lure our fishermen into the depths where they drown them and eat them alive.
Oh, joy.
And then, of course, there are the souls of those who have died in and near the lake, who haunt it at night and rise up from its depths, dragging others down to share their fate. And then also there's fish and other sorts of lake creatures of unusual size, strength, and aggression.
Oh, okay, got it. Lake, not a good swimming hole. Okay.
Oh no, who would ever go swimming?
Well,
Right. Well,
I'm gonna be forthright with you.
Hmm?
We heard that there is a missing Vistani girl around that area.
Oh, the poor thing.
We got brought in by apparently her father.
So this is another person you're working for, but still
No.
listening to jobs from me.
Not listening to them. Honestly, we're all kind of pissed because we ended up going through that stupid death house.
I see. You are recruited by Ergo.
That seems like you know. So it seems
Well,
this is his daughter that we're looking for. So if we're able to find...
We currently have the only tavern in the city. We used to have a competitor, the Blackwater Tavern, which was located closer to the lake. Alas, the owners went insane, cannibalized each other.
That's interesting.
No, I feel like it's more tragic than interesting, but it's been better for business, because what few visitors we get pretty much have the monopoly. But it was tragic. They were, Hildegard and Beauregard Volump were just the sweetest couple. It's a shame what happened to them.
Well, in either case, we're looking for Arabelle girl. Find her tomorrow, bring her back to her dad, and get fucking answers. Then I think we'll be more than happy to take up your quest.
We will see. Outsiders have a way of being drawn into adventure.
Ain't that the truth?
Well, you're not wrong there. Yeah.
She smiles in sort of a knowing and sad way, and says, well, I must get back to work. Good luck with the Burgermaster and all of your quests. And she smiles at you, Reed, because she thought it was pretty silly that you said quests like you were some kind of D&D character. And she heads back inside. Nearby, the Blue Raven looks over at you, and it just seems to have watched and listened to your whole conversation. It make caw-caw sounds.
Alright, well, I guess we go tell everyone else what's going on and ready to talk to this officer. Seems like...
Yeah, that...
Seems like he I have a dick bag.
A dick bag.
The good news is I know how to handle guys like that. So
When you say dick bag, you hear from the raven.
Who agrees? Alright, well, I'm glad you volunteered yourself. Have fun talking with him. And Darius is headed to the tavern.
All right. So, do you guys hang out for the remaining hour or so and kind of run down the clock?
Yeah.
All right.
Reed will spend the time gussying up,
Okay.
putting water through the hair, popping a couple of the Altoids, that kind of stuff.
Okay. The food was bread, much fresher, and more delicious than the one you had in the village of Barovia. Some turnips and what seems to be some kind of pot roast that is just wolf meat. You're starting to kind of detect this wolf meat taste. The soup was an onion broth. But overall, one of the better meals you've had since you got here. Yeah. So, you guys gussy up and get ready to head over. Sounds good.
I
Go
guess
ahead.
Darius is just curious about what Tiernan and Eric and after informing them all this stuff about the burger man. Any thoughts from you guys?
Yeah.
We play it cool, let Reed do all the talking, and hope for the best.
Sounds
Also-
like that kid's dead. I mean, I hate to go straight to the worst possible thing, but no, yeah, his son sounds like he's dead.
Speaking of kids, I'll tell them about the orphanage and that apparently the kids there are also in need.
Ismark grumbles under his breath and says, "Everyone is in need."
Ismark, did we happen to come in a time where everything is particularly bad, or is everything always this awful here?
Everything is usually pretty bad. Sometimes we have slow periods where only a few things are really bad. But you've come at an especially bad time.
Well, these are children.
I mean, I guess that's encouraging in its own way, right? Like, it's not always like this.
Well, Irenia says, "Of course it's encouraging because you are the heroes of this story.
Don't say
You-
that.
But it's true, you've already done so much good for everyone, and now it just keeps going and going. It's going to be amazing."
What good have we done?
You say good. We have a town without a priest. We have a poisoned well. We have a loose vampire.
You're looking at the glass half empty, but listen to this. You ended a poisoned well that was causing a zombie apocalypse. And
I mean, sort of. We just sort of covered it up.
And you stopped the priest from taking advantage of the people and feeding them to a vampire that was in the basement.
But
Probably
You
the
shed the light upon the truth of the shadows that were hiding great evil.
half full or half empty, the glass is still full of piss.
Wait, I'm not drinking that, so let's just go.
And you're going to help us get the trade routes open. And that's going to be a really good thing.
Yes.
Listen, this guy, I've been listening to the conversation since we got to town. He sounds like a real, positivity kind of guy. Reed, you just got to channel your most positive emotions. You just got to go in there with a big smile. You got to say, "Hey, buddy, hey, all is well, huh? All is well and all will be well, baby." And then you just kind of just agree with everything he says. And then whatever it takes to get these roads open, Whatever it takes. Get the
Well,
roads open.
For that, it sounds like we're gonna have to go to this winery. It seems to be affecting this whole this place.
Oh, is that what the super sexy innkeeper's wife wanted to ask you?
This,
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you were collecting wives, but that's fine.
Darius just looks at Irene like, "The fuck are you talking about?"
Look, we all know. We all saw.
It was a
Yeah,
small camp, Darius. You kept making all these noises. You were like, "Ooh, ooh, ooh," Like, I thought you were. Anyways, so yes, read. Positivity. Positivity.
Yeah, that's the plan. Schmooze. Fake it till you make it.
That's right. Fake it. I like that. Fake it till you make it. Whatever it takes. Get the roads open. All right. So you guys ready? You got your notes, your speaking points.
The only note says "Let Reed talk."
Agatha has fallen asleep against the wall. She like kind of scooted her stool over and she's sleeping against the wall. Do you guys wake her? Do you kind of carry her up to her room? Do you leave her there?
I let the innkeeper know that she's with us and to take her to her room if she wakes up. But yeah, otherwise I think just leave her there.
Okay. Fair. She's had an exhausting journey.
Is there anyone from the B team who doesn't want to come? I guess what? Curious.
That's a great question.
She's the only one, right?
You guys obviously have say if the B team members come or not. I would say Mackenzie doesn't want to go because she doesn't want to be responsible for it screwing up, and she's worried that too many cooks in the kitchen will spoil the meal. But she's insanely curious about the world and wants to learn more. Izzy's kind of in the same boat, so I think either of them would take cues from you guys if you wanted them to go or if you wanted them to stay. They understand the merits of them not going because you don't want to like show up at somebody's house with like a ton of people and have it be a bit unfocused, but they're also kind of curious about everything that's happening.
Darius is fine. She's curious about more about this. Honestly, I figured she was more the pop culture kind of person, so like trying to figure out like what's going on with all this supernatural shit is kind of up her alley.
Okay. All right. What about Izzy? Tiernan, do you want her to stay or go?
Probably come with us, but that's just because he's overprotective, not because he has any actual reason.
Fair. Didn't you see the size of the palisade outside? 15 feet tall, man. Everyone in here is safe.
And made of wood.
Everyone in here is safe. All is well and all will be well. All right, let's go ahead and head over to the Baron's house. Okay. Let's see. Remember when we had a lot of B team members? Pepperidge Farm remembers. All right. So this is the nicest house. I love being able to say that at this shithole house. This is the nicest house you guys have seen since you arrived in Barovia. It is easily as large as the burgomaster of the village of Barovia, easily. And it is in much better shape. Yeah, there's a little mold, a little stain. Could use some power washing or whatever. They could probably hire a landscaper, but honestly, it's pretty posh compared to everything else that you guys have seen.
This place looks like it has a swamp cooler.
There are 2 guards standing outside the front door, and they are currently engaged with a group of villagers. I guess petitioners, as it were, that are trying to gain audience with the burgomaster. It doesn't seem to be going well.
Can we kind of creep up so we can kind of hear?
Yeah, sure. It seems that they want the people from the stocks released, at least the children. They should not be punished as adults. They do not have the constitution, the stamina for such punishments. They could die, and if anything is not well, it is the death of children. After all, that is why the orphanage was started, to find a home for children that needed care and needed protection, and so on and so forth. So these people are very upset about the situation with the stocks. The guards are doing the stoic police officer thing where they're not making eye contact and they're just staring ahead and they're just saying the same things over and over again. And basically, the burgomaster is not seeing anyone else today. Please, take your concerns away, and you can try again tomorrow. to have meeting. The hour grows late. Please head back to your homes. The people are upset, and it looks like they're like one push away from going rowdy, angry mob, but they don't want to be killed or end up in the stocks also. So you watch as the wind starts to go out of their sails.
If they start to turn away, as the whoever looks like the spokesperson of the group, I'll try to whisper to him that we're going to meet the burgomaster and we'll try to bring up your concerns.
Okay, yeah. The woman with the group says, truly, you'll be doing that for us, yeah?
We would like to see the children released as well. But
Oh, bless you, adventurer. Bless you 100,000 times. Oh, I knew when I saw you approaching. I said, those are heroes right there, and they're gonna do what's right by the people.
just keep yourself safe. I assume she's older. I'll just tack on a grandmother if she's older.
No. She's actually a young woman and kind of a cutie, And she says, I don't suppose it's yet another redhead. Miss redheads are so rare. She says, well, if you are interested in helping children, we could certainly use your help over at the orphanage. There's some horrible things happening.
Oh, actually, yes, we heard about that today. And I'll say that, my name's Reed. I'd like to visit if I can.
Oh, Reed, my name's Theodora, and I work at the orphanage. It's my life's goal and calling to take care of children, and it's breaking my heart what's happening there.
Yes, we'll try to come by tomorrow at some point.
Oh, would you then? Oh, my hero! She throws her arms around you, and she kisses you on the cheek. And she says, oh, my mood is lifted, my spirit's restored. Thank you so much. And she and the others head out.
Darius just looks at Reed.
But it's the children, Darius.
I know. Got enough on our plate as it is.
Well, I'll go see the children then. And anyway, dinner, and I'll look to the guards. We are expected.
Yeah, the guard says, and who would you be?
Out of character, did we introduce ourselves as the Walking Dead at all? I don't think
The other guard, you hear beneath her helmet, she says, ooh, if I had to guess, I'd say that they're the Cold Shoulders.
No, we're here to see the burgomaster and Isaac.
And then the guy says, a pity. I thought that the Cold Shoulders had returned from their quest. The lands need true heroes in these tough times.
Out of curiosity, what was their quest?
God damn it, Reed.
The lady says, oh, they were investigating rumors of an ancient temple in the mountains. It's said to be full of magical secrets and magical items.
And the last time you saw the Cold Shoulder?
Oh, that would have been weeks ago. It's a long journey, and the mountains are perilous, what with the rock who prowls their peaks, the giants who dwell in the crags, and of course, the goats of legend.
Goats, giants, and now when you say rock, do you mean
Now the other guy says, now knock it off with your nonsense. They don't need to hear about these goats. Everyone knows it is just rumor and speculation.
Huh. Okay. Thank you for the information. And
I suppose. But who are you?
I am Reed. This is Darius, Eric, Tiernan, Izzy.
The other guard says, stop. I don't want to know. We don't want to know all your names. Yeah.
Well, you asked.
Hold on. We wanted to know what your band is called. I think these are the ones that are coming for dinner. And then the
Walking
guy
Dead.
says, "Oh, Isaac's guest for dinner, of course. Please stomp your boots and head on inside." Okay, so I'll take you to the battle map, or would you like to just keep it theater of the mind the whole time? I know that's a lot of pressure, you know, if there's a battle map. I don't want you to feel endangered, you know what I mean? So,
I don't know about y'all. I'm not trying to fight Isaac.
alright, there you go.
Mm.
So we'll just keep it in scene, as it were.
I mean,
Look-
look at that guy. There's no way it's not happening at some point.
Wow.
I'm not.
Wow,
He's just
defeatist.
I mean, he
you fight
radiates-
this guy later energy.
I mean, he radiates bad guy energy, but that's bad
Yeah.
guy future energy. I ain't wanting to deal with that right now.
Okay, so as you guys enter the house, there is a maid waiting for you, a housekeeper. When you look upon this woman, you are touched both by her beauty and her professionalism. This is like the mother/grandmother you never had but wish you did, and there is an aura of comfort, calm, and collection about her. She looks at all of you and she says, "Well, what do we have here coming in out of the cold? Are you the guests for dinner?"
Yes, we are.
"Oh, wonderful. It's been a while since the masters had any company. The mistress, however, her book club ended about an hour ago or so. Let me take your coats. Do you need me to take anything else from you?"
I look around. No, I
Coats
think-
and cloaks, hats, any sort of thing. I'll set them aside for you. Please don't mind all the sticks and timber. We're working on something for the new festival.
Oh, and did we saw a flyer, right? The wolf head one, and then
Yeah.
was it?
Something about a blazing sun.
Yeah, the new festival. Something about a sun, right?
Yes, we're building a giant wicker sun. It will be burned at the end of the festival to symbolize the return of the sun to Barovia.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You strike me as a group that understands the importance of happiness, of positivity of the mind, huh?
Well, of course. I mean, a happy town is a safe town.
Well, you're in for a tweet. You're in for a treat tonight. We're actually serving a ham, from Krezik, no less. And
Oh,
apparently that
wonderful.
should carry some sort of brevity or whatever. Yes.
And
Oh.
might I say you keep a wonderful house?
Oh, well, I do try my best. It's so hard. I've had 2 of my staff go missing lately.
God damn.
Just-
Lex, write that down.
Oh.
They just up and vanished, they did, without a trace, left all their belongings, as well as the coachman. Or was
there-
it the... No, not the coachman. Sorry, I have so much on my mind. I'm gonna go check on the food. This is the dining room here. And she yells down the hallway, Moroski... Sorry, Arelda. Moroskio, the guests are here. How are things going? You need any help in the kitchen? And you hear a guy say, "Hey, I don't be needing no help, huh? I got it!" And she says, all right. It sounds like you don't have it. And then she heads into a door that you believe leads to the kitchen.
Did you
All
hear
right.
that? Missing staff. More missing people.
Bears is just pinching the bridge of his nose.
I'm just that guy that like collects quests.
But doesn't fit. Do you finish them though? That's a good question.
It's like something shiny and new. Oh, I'll work on this one.
All right, let's see. Let me see if I have a good dining room. We might have to just reuse the dining room from the other house, honestly. There's worse things, I guess. All right, I'll take you back over to Le Map. All right, and let me see what I can do about swapping this out for din time. All right, we go down, grab this.
We got a fan spell.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful.
I had it.
Scottrick taking care of you guys.
7.
Oh my god! You have more than any other group.
I know. We were sitting
Wow.
on 10 for a couple of weeks.
Everyone loves a train wreck.
Aww. I think that's it's just easier to connect with this group because y'all, you know. Anyways, it's a lot easier to connect with you guys.
Don't finish that sentence, okay?
Sure, I won't. Anyways, as you enter the room, there is a woman there. The woman looks like, I don't want to say that she's in a bad domestic abusive relationship, but she looks like she gets yelled at a lot. Her shoulders kind of hunch. She has sort of an olive complexion, green eyes, brown hair that is starting to go gray in those streaks that women in Victorian Gothic horror seem to get. She has a massive boobas that are barely held in by her noble, fine clothing. And she has a wolf fur ruff to sort of keep her warm because no central heating and Barovia is pretty cold. She is dressed well and well kept and smells all right. There's actually a hint of perfume there. And this is obviously a person who bathes, grooms, and takes care of herself. As she sees you enter, she says, "Oh, there you are. Welcome, welcome. My name is Lydia Petrovna. I am the burgomaster's wife. I understand that you are here for dinner. Please be seated. I need a few moments to gussy myself up, and I will be back down. My book club just ended, and well, we are sort of transitioning from one event to another. All will be well." As she kind of squeezes past you guys boobily, and heads for the stairs.
File that under trophy wife. Got it.
Okay. Oh, you imagine in her youth. I mean, even now, but in her youth, ooh, mama. She's a Barovian dime. You know what I'm saying? Silver piece, whatever. All right. So you guys, head into the room. Okay. You have a few minutes probably before anyone shows up. If you have any last minute game plans.
So Reed will sit to the right of the burgomaster. Try to position himself.
Okay. So then Eastmark will sit next to you. Irenia is going to just play it cool and not talk. She doesn't like Eric though, so she's gonna sit over here. All right. And I guess wherever the rest of you guys sit is your business.
No, I'm honestly surprised you didn't mutter something like that. Looks like a woman who. No.
I mean, she definitely looks like a woman who shaves herself. Probably why she needs the fur ruff because she's cold because she doesn't have any, you know. Anyways, okay. So while you guys are there, you have a few minutes. The minutes are ticking down.
Actually, does it look like there's any like family portraits or anything around this area, or?
What a wonderful question you have asked. What a wonderful question. Hold on a second.
Curveball to the DM.
No, I have descriptions here. We live in the age of wonder. I could just ask an AI to write a description if I don't have one. Jeez. All right, let's see.
I think Darius is just getting like more trying to understand like, okay, this place seems pretty fancy to, you know, the rest of town. Disparity between wealth and all that stuff, and I think.
Oh yeah. All right. Let me go even further. Okay. We're using the same art from the Paupers Burgomaster dining room where you guys were, you know, dealing with all kinds of bullshit. They had sold off all their belongings. A chandelier of wrought iron fitted with wax candles hangs above a polished wooden dining table. Around the table are a number of comfortable high-backed chairs. The tablecloth is clean and pressed. The linens hanging over the windows are of a similar posh material. Everything in the room speaks of wealth, comfort, and success.
And looking at it, is it all like genuine or is it like a facade?
Oh, it's I mean, you could You could give me a. I don't even know what you would give me in fucking 5th edition D&D. Give me a straight up history.
Ooh.
Okay. I'm mostly just doing that to check your brain power. Yeah, I mean, it all looks pretty legit. I mean, you don't spend a lot of time around old-timey Victorian stuff, I'm assuming, in the year 2023 in Seattle.
He does
But
not.
yeah, but I mean, you do spend your time around movie props and stuff, and this definitely
Yeah.
looks more real than a movie prop. Yeah. All right. The door opens, and Isaac Strasny steps in. He looks around at all of you, and he says, "You are early. That is good to see. I am pleased you took my invitation."
Yes, we were pleased to do so. Good to see you again, Isaac. And I'll give him a kind of a curt bow.
I see you did not bring your grandmother.
She fell asleep.
Resting at the Blue Water.
You're very fortunate to have a grandmother. These are dangerous times in a dangerous place. All right, so he's gonna, let's see, he'll squeeze in next to you, Tiernan.
Ah, excellent.
And he kind of is taking everybody's measure. Tiernan, with your passive insight, you notice that he cannot keep his eyes off of Irenia. And he is purposefully trying to not look at her, but he can't not look at her. Like he's doing everything he can to look at your other allies, to sort of look around, to look towards the door, but it always results in him just looking at her. She is, as anyone that's tried to flirt with her has noticed, completely oblivious. Yeah, and is talking to Izzy excitedly about how they used to have nice things at their house before they had to sell them all. Yeah.
So, Isaac, how long have you been in Vallaki?
I was adopted as a child by the burgomaster. I was an orphan on the streets. From a very young age, I had to make my own way in the world, fend for myself.
I'm going to do something a little dangerous.
Okay.
Oh, so, Irina was actually an orphan as well, adopted by the Burgomaster of Barovia. Something in common. Just kind of
Tiernan,
to gauge his reaction.
Tiernan, he stops breathing, and then he starts breathing again, and he says, "How interesting. There are many orphans these days. I am very sorry for you, Irina, that you had to endure such an experience." And she says, it was, yes, but I was, how strange. I was also adopted by a burgomaster, when I was child. They found me on the roads, bloody and soot stained. There was apparently some sort of attack. And his eyes narrow into two slits, and he says, "How fascinating." And at that, you hear some good boy and good girl sounds as the biggest dogs you guys have ever seen, unless you guys spend your 2023 time hanging out with like St. Bernards and Newfoundlands and stuff, mastiffs. You see two mastiffs kind of nudge the door open, come in, and immediately start getting drool on everybody's butts and crotches. They're just stuffing those slobbery jowls just all up in your junk, just snorting and sniffling, just going to town on you.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
All right, give me an animal handling. Okay. Yeah, they start to growl at you. You feel that maybe your private parts are in danger. You should probably stop.
Ooh,
So-
back up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, these cute doggos. Let's see. Oh, are you broke, doggo? Hold on. There we go. Doggo. Oh, so cute. And doggo. I know I said mastiffs. Here, dogs come in 3 sizes: toy, medium, and mastiff. That's what you're dealing with. But doesn't seem to be any pure bloodline. It's just dogs. Probably they needed to be mutts to survive because this is such a terrible place. All right, let's see. And following behind the dogs is a man. Well, here's the other dog, in case you don't know what dogs look like. Here's a man that comes into the room. All right. So the man following the dogs into the room has eyes that are bright with intelligence and curiosity, but they also hint at a slight bit of madness and an intensity that you quickly understand could be very dangerous. He is also of a more olive complexion, with a very dark green, sort of hazel eyes. He has a well-groomed beard and mustache that is waxed at the tips, which seems to be pretty popular style in Vallaki as you've kind of walked the streets and stuff like that. He too has brown hair of a much darker color, and he too has a gray streak in his hair, like all these Victorian Gothic horror people seem to get, because it's scary. It's a scary life. His most notable feature is that he is wearing some extremely fine clothes, like late season Game of Thrones when they had an unlimited budget. He is wearing a mantle that is made from a wolf hide, and it has a perfectly taxidermied wolf head that is sort of being used as a clasp to hold the mantle in place. He is dripping with rings and other objects of wealth and power. And he looks around the room with those very curious, very piercing eyes, taking in the measure of everyone assembled. And then Isaac stands from his chair as the guy enters.
Reed will also stand and give a bow and kind of motion for everyone else to do so as well if they don't get the hint.
Yeah,
from Isaac.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, the siblings do, and you tell me if you don't, I guess.
Anna does not.
Whoa,
Talk to
shit.
Anna.
Okay. All right. So Anna is the only person that doesn't. It does become very noticeable. The burgomaster kind of turns his gaze towards you, and his eyes narrow, and the corner of his mouth twitches a little bit, but he doesn't say or do anything about it. And he says, "Please, there is no reason to stand in honor. I am just a man as any other, huh? Let us sit down to a meal together. Ah, Ismark, it has been long since I have seen you. You were but a boy the last time, and here you are a man. And he rushes to Irenia. The rose of the valley, the rumors are true. You truly have grown to be quite a beauty. Are you married yet?" And she just starts like making spitting, like blustery sounds, and her face turns purple. And she's it's complicated. And he says, perhaps not too complicated that we can't sort it out. You know my boy Victor? I believe the two of you played with him when your younger days, eh? He is of marrying age now, and perhaps... think about it, alright. And he heads over to his chair. He makes a whistling sound, and the two dogs obediently go to either side of him and lay down.
Well, Baron, thank you so much for inviting us into your lovely home and welcoming us into your equally lovely town. There's no mistake that all will indeed be well under your leadership and guidance.
Oh, wow. He smiles super big at that. He says, "Ah, Isaac, you did the right thing in bringing these people here. This young man, he definitely understands manners and decorum. Where did you find this mouthpiece, Ismark, huh?" And Ismark says, "I found him on the roads outside my village. They are outsiders. I have hired them on to help me with this endeavor." Right? And then the Baron says, that is good, good. You have the makings of a great leader. I understand you have a bad moniker that has been given to you by the people of Barovia Valley. Huh? The lesser they call you. Huh? They are fools. When I look at you, Ismark, I see the greater. I see the greater. The door opens, and you see Lydia has returned. And
Stand
she
up
looked.
for the lady.
Oh, okay. Wow. Nobody else was going to stand up for the lady, but then when you do, Eastmark and Irenia stand up because they're like, okay, Reed must know what he's doing, even though he's not from Barovia. And does anybody else? Does anyone not stand for Lydia Petrovna?
Hannah does not.
Eric
I
doesn't.
will.
Are you so I'm gonna tell you the NPCs. The dogs don't stand. The Baron doesn't stand. Isaac doesn't stand.
The Baron doesn't. Wow.
That's his wife. He's the Baron. I don't know what
Yeah.
that's so fucking difficult about that. Like, jeez.
I think
There
there's
was an American president that would like never help his wife off of Air Force One. I don't know if you guys remember that. But
I may have heard that story.
okay. Well, I don't think the Baron would help his wife off of Air Force One, if I'm being honest. Okay. So Anna, no one's upset that you didn't stand. It's weird that they stood. She actually looks so nervous that you stood for her. She's just like freaking out, like looking around, looking out in the hallway, wondering if someone more important is behind her. And then she says, "Oh, uh, I'm I'm sorry, I was running a little late. I had to reapply my face. Uh, husband." And the Baron says, yes. She says, Victor, he's refusing to come down for dinner. And you hear the two dogs growl. And then the Baron says, I see. Isaac, I hate to impose on you, but this is a very important meeting, a political meeting. That boy needs to step up and be the man that allegedly his birthday said he has become. Huh? Why don't you go up and remind him of his station? Please. And Isaac, stoically, without any expression on his face, says, "Of course, I will return with Victor." And he goes to leave the room, and Lydia puts a hand up, but it seems to be afraid to touch Isaac, and says, "But please, be gentle." And he goes, "Of course." And then you see his like demonic like ape arm like flex, and you see like fire like running through the veins, and then you hear all the knuckles crack, and he says, "I am always gentle with my brother."
Oh shit. Madam Petrovna, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. One so beautiful and cultured. Baron, you are a lucky man.
He says, yes, it's true. And he leans into you, Reed, and not so quietly he says, "You saw those tits, huh?"
Wow. As I said, you are indeed, your household is blessed.
Well, before we start talking business, let us enjoy some soup. And he whistles in a different way, and the dogs both go baroo, baroo. And you hear some sounds in the hallway, and the door opens, and the cook comes in. And he looks around at everybody in the room, and he has like a little trolley that he pulls in, and he starts ladling out soup for everybody. And he says, "This is a special treat, huh? It's a little early in the season, but we have a pumpkin puree. It's got a little bit of the nutmeg and the cinnamon sprinkled on top. It's gonna taste a little like a dessert, but you know, it gets the sweetness going to set you up for the savory, huh? Crazy ham coming up next." And then he starts like ladling out this cold pumpkin puree for everybody. And Lydia says, "Oh, Mauricio, thank you. It smells delicious." And then Irene smells it, says, "It smells like Eric, right? A little bit." And then Mauricio leaves the room with his little cart. Okay. So you see the empty seat where you assume Victor is supposed to sit, has been given soup, and then Isaac has soup there as well. All right. Several minutes have passed, and Isaac has not returned with Victor. But the Baron has begun eating and is engaging Eastmark in small talk about the journey here. And he says, "So, it's quite a journey to make these days. You came all the way here with these mercenaries along the roads. What sort of condition are they in?" And because I don't want to roleplay with myself, I would much prefer you guys answer any of the questions for Eastmark and Iredia, and we will assume that they support your answers, or they will cut in and say, "That's not what we think." But for the most part, you guys are repping them.
Well, Baron, actually, pardon me, Eastmark, for interrupting. That's what I do. With your noble lineage, of course, I think you would be the best to advise us on this matter. We were actually hoping to open the trade routes between Barovia Village and Vallaki, thinking that it would benefit both towns immensely, and of course, be another feather
He
in
says,
your
"I'm going to stop you right there. I understand you're some kind of outsider, but we say Vallaki.
My apologies, of course.
Vallaki sounds like something a duck would say.
You are, of course, right.
Are you a duck, sir?
No, but as you said, I am an
Then
outsider.
stop quacking at me, huh?
I will laugh at his jest.
Okay. As he's laughing, the dogs start going.
Yes, the noble town of Vallaki, of course.
Yes, well, I understand. Isaac explained to me that you wanted to speak with me. I figured that it was some silly nonsense like that. But you haven't told me the conditions of the road. How was your travels here? You weren't waylaid by any bandits, were you? Ever since the devil went into his dormancy and neglected his duties and let the land fall into shadows, I have worried that the bandits of old would return, no longer feared of his great retribution.
I believe actually the roads would be best if they were patrolled by such seasoned and trained veterans such as your guardsmen.
As we did in the days of old, 3 or 4 months ago. Alas, I need all of my guardsmen here to keep order, to make sure that all is well. And as he says that, his wife murmurs, "All is well, and all will be well."
And Lord Burgomaster, would you consider Vallaki to be well at this time?
Oh, it is it is a struggle. It is a struggle, but it is a battle worth fighting. Yes. Are you also an outsider? There is something about you that feels familiar. Huh?
I'm from Vallaki. I have been away for some time, though.
Interesting.
This is sort of a homecoming for me.
Huh. What, do you have a family name?
Anderson.
I don't recall any Anderson, but this is a large city. Hopefully your family has been paying their taxes and attending the festivals.
I'm sure, of course.
At that point, the door opens, and you guys see an angsty young man of Barovian descent. Let's see. Where's this angsty young man? Ah, here we go. He is beanpole skinny and seems to be tall like his mother. He also has a bit of like an olive complexion, but it has been bleached out by a steady avoidance of any and all sunlight or daylight or anything. You can tell that this guy definitely is a shut-in of sorts. He has bags under his eyes that seem to speak of restless nights or sleepless nights, and he looks somehow frail and also powerful. Like he is unafraid of anything, even the lumbering giant behind him. And he definitely looks like the kind of guy who has a bit of a chip on his shoulder. And he looks around and he says, Father, excuse me. I didn't understand you had such important guest. I, of course, would have stopped my studies immediately and come down if only I had had all of the information. And Lydia looks at him like, you son of a bitch. Are you gonna throw me under the bus or the carriage like that? And he says, perhaps mother told me and I just didn't hear her. But here I am. And how lovely all of you travelers look. The Baron looks so pissed, his eyes hidden in the shadows of his scrunched brow. And he says, everyone please meet my son, Victor Vallakovich. He is a bit eccentric, but he is a very bright man of marrying age. Victor, do you remember Arinia Kolyana, daughter of the burgomaster of the village of Barovia? And Victor looks at her, and this looks like a dude who, like, if you were like, bro, you can have anything in the world or this really hot chick, he would always pick whatever the other option is. He just looks at Rita and he says, I'm charmed. I think I remember we played once as children when you came to visit. I hope everything is well and with your father and your life. And she says, yes, it's good. Thank you. And you guys check the chemistry meter and see that it is at 0. And then Victor says, all right. And he goes to sit down. Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, all right. I guess he'll just sit on this side. Okay.
Well, that's also the side that Isaac was on.
Yeah, so Isaac's gonna, it's a big table. It's a big table. All right. So it's so they sit down and they start to eat. Yep. All right. So is there any conversation points you want to bring up?
What did Isaac look like while his brother was talking?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. When the mayor, I keep calling him, when the Baron was introducing Irenia to Victor and vice versa, you could see that Isaac didn't look jealous. He looked intrigued. Yeah. All right. So, with everybody situated, eating their pumpkin puree, does anybody have anything to say, or do you just kind of like roll through the first course?
Yeah, Reed's gonna bring it up. The children up.
Sure.
Baron, with I hear your magnanimity knows no bounds. That you have an orphanage in this city that does great good, taking care of the many lost and wayward children of Barovia.
Yes. The children are important. Huh? They are the future of Vallaki, and we will need them for what is to come.
That is such wise words. And as an ignorant outsider, I am sorry, I am ignorant of a lot of ways. And if you could share some of your,
Understandable.
if you could share some of your great wisdom that I see when we were walking into your great village, that there were children in the stocks, which surely they must have deserved it. But
Let me stop you right there, Mr. Quackers. Those are
His name is
criminals.
Reed.
Right. They are criminals. While they are children, they are criminals first, children second. Once they have learned their lesson, they can go back to being children.
Quite right you are. These criminals, as you say, would it not show more favor to the people? And again, I'm just guessing because I am an outsider and do not have the political savvy that you do. But wouldn't it show more benevolence and goodwill to the people and show that all is indeed well by letting these children go?
I
mean,
think
you know.
it would show a leniency in the rules that keep us safe from the darkness.
Then instead of showing leniency, perhaps then just showing a gift of your generous nature to the people during the celebration, perhaps by releasing the children as a sign that the sun is indeed coming back and is welcoming all of Vallaki's citizens, including the children.
Okay, give me a persuasion, because that is an okay argument.
Okay.
Oof.
Oh,
Okay.
with advantage because I'm laying it on thick, maybe.
I mean, I allowed the check because it was within the realm of
okay.
possibility that he would consider.
Got it.
But apparently it did not come across very well at all.
Ooh,
I'm rolling
so-
all these naughty ones.
So he says, "Is this why you came all the way from the village of Barovia to tell me how to run my town?"
I would
Ismark?
never.
And Ismark looks at you and he shakes his head like
Uh,
in a drop it kind of gesture.
My apologies for such impropriety, Baron. As you said, am an ignorant outsider. I will.
You may want to just save your words for what you were hired to do. If you care that much about helping your employer get these trade routes open, then that's probably what we should be discussing. Huh?
You are, of course, right. My apologies.
All right. The door opens and Marushkio comes in. And he collects up everybody's plates, and as he does, he puts them on the lower part of the cart, and then reveals on the top part of the cart is some sort of salad. Lots of leafy greens, tomatoes, radishes, some carrots in there. It's actually looking pretty nice. There's some sort of herb oil mixture for the dressing. And then they even have some grateable cheese. And just like the Olive Garden, he starts grating the cheese. And unless you tell him to stop, he just keeps grating it. Does anybody act a fool at this opportunity? You know who you are. You know who you are. When you were 12 and you went to Olive Garden with your family and you were just a little shithead and you just let them keep grating cheese because you thought it was funny, and your dad was getting more and more upset because you were embarrassing the whole family as you just sat there waiting for more and more cheese. You remember that? Yeah. Anyways,
cover
does anybody do that?
those mountains. Make it the blizzard. Make it the blizzard. No.
Sorry, this is the slice of life stuff that we need to ground you in the campaign. So I just need to know: does anybody act a fool at the salad cheese grating scene? Going once, going twice. Okay, everybody takes a decent and correct amount of cheese. All right, Marushkio exits the room. All right. The Baron says, "These plants, they're supposed to be good for you."
They are.
A man needs only meat That's what I was taught by my father. But apparently, that is not true. Your teeth can fall out or something like that. Anyways, fortunately, I had a good nursemaid, and she taught me the value of a balanced diet.
That's correct. Body needs nutrition sources.
Excellent. You are definitely not lacking in nutrients. You're almost as big as Isaac here. Perhaps the two of you could spend some time with Victor and teach him how to build some muscles. Victor seems unfazed by his father's barbs.
Darius looks at Victor,
Mhm.
then looks at Reed.
Hey,
looks at Victor, then looks at Isaac.
Reed has fake muscles. Remember, we determined
Yeah.
Reed has fake muscles.
Yeah.
Victor has a skeleton. That's what Victor's bringing to the
Abs and
table.
I don't skip leg day.
Oh, all
I
right.
would be lying if I said it didn't cross my mind. Maybe are with Isaac at some point.
Oh, Isaac nods at you approvingly and says, "Yes, I would very much like to see what you bring to the battlefield. As friendly sparring partners, of course."
Of course.
All right.
But back on
Oh.
but back on hand, talking about the trade roads. Sounds like it's wine shortage affecting a lot of trade around.
The Baron slams his fist into the table and he says, "Absolutely it is. I wonder if those no good Martikovs are trying to stage a political rebellion against me. And they've arranged for it. I bet they're secretly getting the wine from the Vistani."
I wouldn't go that far. In the Vistani camp that we passed by here. On Low Bear.
Interesting. Now, this is the sort of information I would have liked to hear about your travels. Tell me more. What is your name?
Darius.
Darius. Now, this is a man who understands communication, huh? The rest of you could learn something from him. And you hear Irina under her breath say, "Oh, I see." And then, everyone, I guess, turns to look at you, Darius.
Well, Rovia, staying at the line. Traveled by the Vistani. They had some, but
Which Vistani did you visit? Those no good ne'er-do-well servants of the devil that are camping illegally outside of my town?
no. I think it was a place called Star Falls. Looking at Isma.
The Serpools.
Serpool.
The Serpools. Okay. Alright. And they said that it's true, that these rumors are true. There is actually a wine shortage. I'm not being forced into it secretly by some political movement.
No. Seems like it's
Interesting.
so we haven't camp outside of your one of our some business with their
Well, interesting. Well, the wine you're drinking right now is Red Dragon Crush, one of the signatures of the Wizard of Wines. This is a fine vintage. And you guys do notice that this is leaps and bounds better than anything else you have drank since you got here. You've definitely been getting the watered down, shitty wine to sort of make things last. This guy has actually, for company, busted out, like the good shit. He says, all right, so...
I think actually Darius would remark on that thing that all the other places down in north save what they have.
That is a pity. Now that I know the rumors are true, we will have to We will have to tighten our grip on what wine supplies we have left. We need to last until it happens. And he stares into the firelight, or into the candlelight, meditatively.
Why not be proactive and secure it for yourself, Lord Burgomaster?
Lord Burgomaster. That's not a bad idea. Isaac, what about the cold shoulders? And Isaac says, they left for the mountains weeks ago, sir. And then Baron Vargas says, what about the crying wolves? And then Isaac says, they have not been seen since they went hunting for wolves. And then the Burgomaster says, well, what about the simulacrums? And Isaac says, they headed for Krezik. Have not been seen since. And then the Baron says, all right. What about Honorbound? And then Isaac says, they went to Castle Ravenloft to combat the devil. They were never seen again.
Baron, if I may.
Baron says, hold on. We need to find some mercenaries. We need to find some adventurers. People that are willing to work for coin and do something very stupid and dangerous. But where can I find such people if all of the adventurers are gone?
Darius ain't gonna bite, and he's gonna look at everyone else on this table to not bite on that hook either.
Reed
Tyrion's
just
gonna look at
inside
Reed.
no. Yeah, Reed's like, I give up. No.
Anna says, how much money?
The Baron says, how much money for what, young lady? For the Anderson family's taxes this year? I don't know.
To make sure that all is well
Oh!
and obtain wine for you.
I understand now. You're saying that you are mercenaries that would be willing to go if the price was right. How interesting. What is the name of this adventuring band that you claim to be?
She looks at Eric.
Ugh, The Walking Dead.
Oh, that is an evocative name, The Walking Dead. It sort of, hear me out, reminds me of zombies a bit.
We're trying it out for now. You were talking about payment, potentially?
I would like to know more, but I have matters here that I need taken care of. And I don't want to go poaching your assistants, your workers, Ismark. They're already under contract with you. It would be poor taste for me to just hire them out from under you.
We are not under contract from him.
Truly, I was told you are mercenaries working for him. Have I let strangers into my home under false pretense?
We are his companions at the moment, as we've assisted him with the village of Barovia and several dangerous matters there.
Isaac looks at you as if you are trying to set him up and betray him. And he turns to the Burgomaster and he says, Baron Vargas, I want you to know that at the gates, they made it clear that they were here working for the Burgomaster of Barovia Valley's children. I don't know what this woman is about, but if that is not the case, then I have been deceived by all of them.
No, it is just a miscommunication. What she means is we are indeed friends of Irenia and Ismark, but we are also, as said, helping out the village of Barovia and working with them. So both statements are true, Baron.
The Baron looks at Isaac. Isaac looks at the Baron. The Baron looks at you, and then at everyone at the table, and then finally at Anna, and then says, interesting. Very interesting. And at that point, the door opens, and Marushkio comes in, and he takes everybody's salad plates, and then he, beneath all the plates was like, of course, your actual plates, and then he sets a big ass like a huge ham. Like you don't know the size of the pig this must have come from. This is a big ass hunk of meat. He doesn't strain it at all because Marushkio got them muscles, but the table almost groans a little bit as he sets it down. Arranged around the ham are all manner of boiled or baked tubers. So you see some potatoes, some turnips. You also see that there are more carrots. And then he sets down two, I don't know what they're called, gravy boats, but there's like a nice word for it.
Tureen.
Tureens, thank you. Two tureens of some kind of gravy or broth or something like that. And then he nods and he leaves the room again. All right.
Again, Baron, your generosity is amazing to behold.
Mm.
I'm trying to lay it on thick, guys. I'm sorry.
I think Darius would kind of just look at Isaac and the Baron and be like, your offer is interesting and definitely consider it. But we are working Ismark and I. So
Of course. I wouldn't want you to, right, have a conflict of interest, huh? This guy gets it, Darius. Let's talk after dinner. I feel like your talents are wasted with these people. Isaac could use help keeping order here in Vallaki. I think you have the potential to really make a difference here.
raises an eyebrow to that, looks at Ismark, and then also looks at Ismark.
Isaac looks at you and gives you a bro nod. Ismark looks at you like, I am out of my depth, and I'm very glad that I brought you guys along, but I don't know what to do. Like, it's very plain on his face that his father did not prepare him for any of this stuff.
We can talk.
Okay. Change some music a little bit. He says, excellent. I would love to speak with you about potential business arrangements moving forward. So, let us enjoy this tremendous meal brought to us by the prosperity of this fine town. And yes, I have heard your words. You want the trade routes open. I cannot do that, you see. The people need to be here where it is safe. With the roads open, they will travel. And if they travel, the lands have become too dangerous and too deadly in the years that have passed. Order has fallen the wayside. Shadows have crept in and blotted out the light. The people here prosper and are safe. And they have never been safer or happier since I closed the borders. No longer can the devil's minions pervert their minds. No longer can the heinous monsters that prowl the shadows, birthed by Mother Night to bring sorrow to the Morning Lord's people, they cannot harm them anymore. Here we have created a paradise, but it is only the beginning. We continue to work towards our goal, and all will be well. And as he says that, Ezek and Lydia both murmur quietly, all will be well. And then the two dogs go, roof, roof. And then Baron Vargas continues and says, now I understand. It's, Barovia Valley lives in the shadow of the Devil's Castle. And no doubt you are preyed upon by his minions constantly. You have farmland, you have trade. Why are you not self-sufficient? What is causing this strife? What is making it so you so desperately need Vallaki again? It cannot be simply wine. There are other things to drink. What is the real reason that you need the trade routes open? Why is this such a sticking point for you? All right, Eastmark and Arena look to all of you guys.
There's the lack of trade goods in the town.
All right, the diversity of trade seems to be the issue. Okay.
Perhaps Tiernan can explain inflation.
I understand the supply and demand. So you have some miscreants in your town, village, who are taking advantage of the situation. Then, hmm? Why has your father not just laid down the law? He is the burgomaster. He should do what is best for his people. If this man is being a profiteer, he should step in and seize the man's goods in the state. Redistribute them properly. How is that not something he has thought of? I understand you have no schools in the village of Barovia, but I thought that at least your father was an educated man. You hear Eastmark's knuckles crackling as he balls his fist under the table. Reed and Izzy.
There's already been quite a lot of hardship in the village. Their father is trying to keep as much hope and goodwill amongst the people as possible, and seizing someone's possessions, even if it's deserved, doesn't generally foster good relations.
I see. Who is keeping order in your town? I understand there's a small village. You never had more than a volunteer militia, but certainly the laws are being enforced.
Ismark actually is doing a great job of kind of being the constable.
And we'll give all the examples of what he does. He patrols the city and helped clean up the well and deals with the zombies and cleared a vampire out of the town.
Yeah, he's proven to be a very capable leader.
That is quite an achievement.
Yes, he listens to the people. I don't make it sound like the Baron doesn't. I'm just,
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just talking up Ismark, but he listens to the people and makes sure that they are heard and their needs are met.
I see. Do the people still call you Ismark the Lesser? And you see his face, Ismark's face flush.
There is a new nickname that has come about, and they are starting to call him Ismark the Cleanser.
Really? Give me a deception, Anna. Okay. Let's see.
And I'll try to add on to that and be like, just talk it up. Like,
Sure. Okay. He gives you a wry smile and he says, I'm sure they do, Anderson. I'm sure they do. Well, I would need some time to think about my decision. Why not, in the time being, I grant you permission to stay in Vallaki and do not put you out into the dark, and you might consider looking into something for me while I make up my mind.
What can we assist you with, Baron?
Well, it is hard to lead, and while all is well and all will be well in Vallaki, there are some detractors. The worst of which is with the water woman.
We have not yet met this family. Can you tell us about them?
They are an old family, as old as the Vallakoviches, and long have we, together, our families, guided Vallaki towards the bright and prosperous present it has now. But I seek to take us into a brighter future. But Lady Fiona Washer, well, she is a servant of the devil. She would never want us to succeed at our great goal. She dwells in darkness, you see. She is no doubt a witch. She's a traitor, a treasonous. She is the worst woman. Things used to be all right when her husband ran the family. but apparently he has grown ill, and she has taken the duties of managing the household for herself. Now, I tried my best to broker some peace between the families with an arranged marriage of her daughter Stella to my fine boy Victor over here. And then he kind of says, but it didn't take. So now, ever since that ill pairing, I think that she's working against me. Some of my servants have gone missing, and I'm pretty sure that Lady Fiona had them kidnapped. Yes, I think that she's keeping them at her house, and that she is questioning them, trying to learn my secrets.
But Baron, if this Lady Wachter if she's such an insurrectionist, surely you and Izek had the power to remove her.
No. She is an old family, and those sorts of things carry power and weight still. The Anderson family might be able to tell you more about that. So, the Fialda Watcher, no. I cannot move against her because she hasn't done anything public. But I know she's up to no good. So I need some people maybe outside of town to look into it. She has a man who works for her. Ernst Larnack is his name. And he is always snooping around, always trying to spread rumors, always trying to cause trouble. I would just like some people, some smart, capable people, to look into it and just give me their opinion of what is going on. Any sort of information that could be provided to me, that could shed some light on these dark dealings, that would go a long way towards my decision about opening the trade routes again.
Your point is well received, Baron.
Excellent.
And now I'll try to shift the conversation to something lighter. Madam Petrovna, or Lady Petrovna, you mentioned a book club. Perhaps you could tell us more about that.
Well, certainly. It's more of it like, well, and the Baron says, she heard that the washerwoman had book club and wanted one of her own, let's be honest. And then she looks hurt by his words. And she says, I had the book club before I heard of hers, sweetheart. It has been meeting for many years. But we are struggling with education in Vallaki since the school shut down. So I allow peasants to come here and learn to read, and I give them tea and snacks, and I teach them to read, and I read to them every few days.
How gracious of you, Lady Petrovna.
Very kind of you.
Victor seems to come to life for the first time. Because he's just like, you know how some people when they're around their family, they just go into their safe place, they go into their cave, like deep in the mind. And he reaches out a spidery, bony hand, and he takes his mother's hand and he squeezes it, and he says, "Mother, you do so much good. Thank you." And she starts to tear up a little bit, and then he releases her hand and goes back to pretending to eat his food. I mean, he is eating, but he definitely is not into food. But like, it's not like weird, like he's not eating, but he kind of picks at his food quite a bit.
That is admirable. My mom was a school teacher, and to work with underprivileged children.
Thank you. Yes, I also convinced my husband that we should donate the money to start the orphanage. So I have a very invested interest in that as well. I always imagined that I would have many children, but after Victor, we were unable to have any more. Um, and the Baron says, Victor is enough, eh? And the Morning Lord delivered to us a second son, Ezek, a strapping lad of strength and determination. These two boys, we've got the bronze, we got the brains. And you,
Yes.
my sweet wife, you do so well to take care of both boys in this house. Thank you. And she seems almost confused by his kindness.
Surely the Morning Lord has shined its blessing down upon your family and this town.
Absolutely. All will be well, eh? And then, Lydia, Isaac, and the two dogs all say, all will be well. Well, the dogs just go woof woof. They seem to know when other people are saying all will be well that it makes the Baron happy if they say woof woof. So.
In condition. But Victor
What?
doesn't join in on this at any point.
He never says all will be well. Yeah, he never engages in conversation other than what I've specifically said. Like this is the guy who seems to be trapped by
Just over everything.
Like,
yeah. Well,
it seems like he's at least like hearing the conversation, but he's definitely not engaging it whatsoever. Like none of this is interesting in him until something does.
Yeah, he has the air about him of the people that you've met in your life that are cursed with being very, very smart, and they just don't know what to do with it. Do you know what I mean? And they know that they are smart, and they know that most other people are dumb, and if they point that out, they get in trouble. And if they talk about the things they're interested in, no one understands or actually cares. And if they try to engage with conversation about dumb things, they end up saying something mean or hurtful or dismissive. So they've just sort of given up. That's kind of the personality, the air that this guy seems to have about him. Yeah.
I think with a 10 wisdom, Reed doesn't pick that up. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
He's going to ask Victor.
Mm-hmm.
Victor, perhaps you could tell us about some of your pursuits.
I am a student of everything. I crave knowledge. I like books and histories. I long for the days of old when magic was allowed by the people and was used to make the world a better place. I long for the times when the Morning Lord's sun shined down and the world was a bit brighter than it is now. I don't suppose you have any books. I have a small allowance I've set aside to purchase such things. And when he says that, both his parents seem happy that he is talking to anyone.
We actually don't have any books on us, but we are also looking for such things. Perhaps we will share our knowledge.
There is a book dealer in town, the Spine Mine, which is a morbidly delightful name for a shop. He does good by me, but unfortunately he has nothing new that I have not already borrowed or purchased. Perhaps he might have something of use for you, though. And at that, the door opens, and Maruschio comes in, and he takes the plates, and then he sets down for each person a lovely apple pastry, sort of a let's see, apple pastry. Yeah. So it's kind of like a tart, like a little apple tart. It's very fancy. You imagine that IRL, you'd probably pay $15-$60 for this at a upscale restaurant. And then he heads out.
think Anna would look at the pastry and
Mhm.
choose to not eat it.
Okay, fair.
She'll push it over for Tiernan.
I will absolutely eat too.
All right. Isaac says you're lucky. Those are very good.
I'll split a third of the second one with him.
He went
Hey,
sharesies.
Yeah, all right. I mean, he smiles at you, and you do see that he has had a lot of dental work done as well. He has a lot of metal teeth, in addition to this prosthetic, jaw as well. So he obviously got real fucked up at some point. And he says, "Thank you."
I nod to him and also got real fucked up at some point.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah. You guys are fucking bonding. You just see green pluses just appearing above Isaac's head, like constantly.
My God.
You check your NPC log and you see new friend, and you see Isaac Strahd.
Tolerates
Isaac will
you.
remember that. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, every time Reed tries to butter up the Baron will remember that. It doesn't go
Yeah,
well.
you just have a bunch of red minuses. Though.
red minuses everywhere. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting to me that the people with like very low charisma scores are appealing to the Baron more than the highest charisma face character who is just taking like every approach that is counter to what the Baron would like. It's just very interesting. So
Yeah.
It's
He's
a
like, I
good-
know people
yeah.
like this, and no, he doesn't.
yeah. All right. So Victor kind of picks at the tart, but he looks like a guy who desperately wants to get back to whatever he was doing beforehand. And let's see, Irenia, in an effort to be polite, says, "So Victor, I am a bit of a scholar myself. Perhaps after dinner we could discuss medicine." If you would like, I might have some techniques or things that you have not heard of before, and vice versa. And he stares at her, and you can see he's trying to muster what passes for politeness. And he says, "I don't know if anyone from Barovia Valley would really have anything." And then Lydia looks at him pleadingly, and he says, "That I wouldn't mind hearing again. Yes, let us talk for a bit in the sitting room, eh?"
Irenia is competent. I had quite a few diseases when I first got here, and she was able to treat me. So, definitely know something.
The Baron laughs and pounds his fist and says, "Sexual diseases, no doubt. Eh, you seem like a man who knows his way around a brothel, eh?"
Even I don't know how to respond to that one. I think Darius
hold on,
kind
but-
of just looks at what
Would Darius catch anything from that one night stand?
that's not something I wanted to think about. I just
Rude,
moved it.
rude.
I just moved it along. I think he will
Just
just
asking.
look. I think he will just
Wait,
look at
maybe.
He'll just look at the Baron.
Mhm.
He's
All
not,
right.
even, he's not even sure what to say.
The Baron laughs at his own jokes because he's had quite a couple of glasses of Red
Yeah.
Dragon Crush. Yeah, and he says, "So talented healer, and what were you, Ismark the Caring? That's nice. It's good to see that you kids have grown up so well under your single father's care. He never remarried after the death of your mother. She was a fine woman. One of the most beautiful I've ever seen in my life. If my heart had not already been captured by Lydia, I would have given your father a bit of a run for his money, I think." Ismark stares at him and says, "Sure." And then Baron Vargas says, "Well, I think we have talked enough. I'm going to need a few days to think about this. Why don't you keep my man Isaac appraised of your friendly investigation? And if they are promising, that will definitely weigh heavily on my decision."
Sounds good.
All right, and he prepares to stand. The dogs remain sitting until he is fully stood and pushed in his chair. At that point, Isaac stands up, and then the dogs seeing Isaac stand up also stand up. Does anybody else not stand up?
Anna just bombs back a glass of wine while everybody else is standing.
Okay. You guys notice that even Victor stands. So Anna is the only one who does not. The Baron looks at her, and then he gets a dark look on his face and a grim smile. He starts to enter the door. He whistles. The dogs head after him, and then he leaves the room.
I think Darius will kind of just stop him,
Oh, okay.
send for a hand.
And he says, you'd like to speak now, huh?
That's what you intend.
Why don't we go out back? It is a cool night. We can smoke a pipe.
And while Darius does that with the Baron,
Mhm.
Reed's going to try to pull the lady aside as well.
Okay. All right. She is currently fussing over Victor because she's so pleased that he has agreed to talk to Irenia, and he is getting more and more regretful and upset about his decision as she dotes on him. So you distract her, and Victor uses that opportunity to uncanny dodge / cunning action his way over to Irenia, and then they head across the hall to the sitting room.
Ooh.
Okay. As they walk away, Isaac stares. Okay. Reed, you take her aside, and she says, "Oh, yes, Reed. What is it that you need?"
Yes, Lady Petrovna, we, or at least I, am visiting the orphanage tomorrow, and I know you said that was a kind of a pet project of
Oh,
yours.
what
Perhaps-
business do you have there, Reed? Are you
well,
looking to adopt a child? It
not
seems
yet,
like
but
seems like a dangerous lifestyle that you live to adopt a child.
you are quite insightful and correct. I'm going to deliver toys to the children, and then I heard from a woman who works there, a young woman named Theodora, that they're having some troubles. So I would like
Oh,
to help them out.
yes. There has been some very strange happenings there. If you could look into it, that is wonderful. And perhaps you will find a small boy or girl that calls out to you, and then you and your partner Ismark can adopt. I have been trying to point out that adoption is an excellent way for same-sex couples to have child together.
Oh, Ismark is not my. Well, we're not.
Oh, you seem very possessive of him, and the way you look at him. It is how I used to look at my husband when we were still in love.
Yes, things are early stages, I guess you would say, early days.
That is a boy of great sorrow. It will be a tremendous burden to take on his love. Are you strong enough for such a responsibility, Reed?
I like to think so. Even those that may not outwardly look strong have a inner strength that even sometimes they're not aware of. And I kind of grasp her hand to kind of, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, kind of.
I see. Well, my advice to you is get in good with the sister. That is the best way to learn more about him and win his heart. He loves her more than anything, so as long as you are kind to her, he will see that you have kindness in your heart.
Yes, every time I talk to him, though, it seems I step over my my tongue.
You seem to lead with a lot of preconceptions. When you are speaking with my husband, you assume that he would be like some other noble that you have met before, but he is uniquely himself. You should always take time to learn more about the person that you are hoping to impress before launching into such large and dare I say intrusive asks. Now this one here, she motions to Anna. She was very rude, but my husband is no stranger to rudeness. Over the years, we have had many outsiders as guests, and we understand that some of them are from other worlds and other lands. They have different ways of doing things. Others simply have a chip on their shoulder. For him, it is as nothing. It is the yapping of dogs. We have seen so many of your people come and go that we do not really care too much one way or the other what happens, for your lives are so short. But maybe for you, things will be different. Maybe your love for Ismark, maybe you will make smart choice and settle down here in Vallaki. Make a life for yourself.
Well, that sounds lovely, I guess. But in any event, I'll take your words to heart. Thank you for your counsel and for having us in your lovely home.
Certainly.
Excuse myself.
If you need a few minutes to put yourselves together before leaving, that is fine. And she heads to the door. All right. So Isaac turns to you, Tiernan, and says, You seem different than the others. You have seen much death.
That's accurate.
Has it changed you?
It's hard for it not to. I don't know if it's changed me in a bad way necessarily, but I probably not the same person I would have been otherwise.
Do you ever wonder what sort of person you would have been had the fates spared you all of this sorrow?
I do, but at the same time, my experiences with death were when I used to be a healer of sorts. And if I hadn't have had those experiences, I think of the people that I wouldn't have been able to save. And even if it did end me up here, I don't know if I would undo that just to spare myself.
Interesting. Very interesting.
But I do think about it, yes.
Yes. How well do you know this Irenia?
We've been traveling companions for a while, but
She looked at you many times during dinner. Are you in a relationship with her?
no. She seems to have some sort of fascination with me. I don't know whether it's anything like that or if she just likes to look at the man with the half of a scar face.
Is she that sort of person?
I'm not sure.
She is not in a relationship with any of these others?
I don't think so, no.
That is good.
I know that the pretty one, he's a big fan of Ismark in that way, but
Well, then he is in for sorrow. That Ismark Kolyonovich is cursed.
you think so?
That is the rumors that are spread, that I
Cursed
have heard.
in what way?
When he was born, he killed his mother. It was a long and painful birth, I heard.
I don't imagine that's unfortunately exceedingly rare around these parts.
It is not that rare, no, but nonetheless, the people talk. She was apparently a very great woman, and people blame him for taking her away.
I think he does his best to fill in the gaps that she left behind. But
He does take good care of Irenia, though. Yes?
yes, he does. He adores her.
No one hurts her.
No.
Good. That's good. I need air. I'm going to go on the patrol. It was good to meet you, Tiernan.
It's good to meet you too. Really meet you, Isaac.
And everything seems fine because you're sitting to his right, and then you see his massive gorilla demon arm push down on the table with like a creaking sound as it lifts his weight up, and it leaves just a little bit of like sizzle on the table. Just so you could see where it started to smoke up from his hand. And he adjusts himself. He grabs his weapon that was nearby, and he heads out.
Man, I made no friends tonight. I'm
You know what?
sorry, everyone.
I like him, but he is somewhat unnerving with that arm of his.
It's a lot like your face, Tiernan.
His arm? No, this is actually my own face. That's not actually his own arm.
That is his arm.
He's also badly burned, much like Tiernan as well. Like in addition to all of his
Yeah.
other,
I mean,
his-
our scarring is similar, but the arm part, I don't think that part is.
Your logic is lost on Anna.
All right. So what do you guys get up to? How long do you linger at this dude's house? Do you have a conversation here, or do you save it for when you are out of the house?
Where is Lydia still like around?
I can tell you now
Or-
that Irenia and Victor will probably only hang out for about 30 minutes before Victor has to make up excuses to get away from her. And she would probably be okay with that because he's a little creepy. And then the conversation between Darius and the Baron would probably go very quickly. So we could do that real quick, Darius. Do you want that secretly, or are you okay with people knowing?
That's fine.
Which is fine. You said
it's
when I asked two things, I can't get yes or response.
It's fine if people.
Okay. So basically, out in the back, fine pipe tobacco is packed into a beautiful pipe. You imagine at a Renaissance festival, it's one of those pipes they'd try to charge you $175 for. And he puffs some smoke out of it, takes a long drag, blows some smoke rings, passes it to you.
Darius will politely refuse.
He says, "You sure? Tobacco is not indigenous to Barovia. You have to pay a pretty price to get this from the Vistani."
My uncle smokes cigars and not for
Cigars. I have had a few of those in my life. They cost me quite a bit, but so delicious. Darius, men like us, we understand life more than the others. You seem like the kind who is enlightened, and that is why I want to share with you my vision. Will you listen for a few minutes?
sure.
My ancestors, they helped the devil settle this region, take the lands from the Kavani and hunt them to near extinction, force them to swear fealty. My ancestors were there when the devil cut his hand, spilled his blood upon the earth, and bound himself to the lands of Barovia. Over the generations, we have served loyally. My ancestors were considered great assets because they carried in their bloodline the threads of magic. Now, in these darkest days, anyone who shows such talent does not last very long. They are either sworn or forced into the devil's service, or they are eliminated. I have kept secret some ancient tomes from my ancestor. I have learned the secrets of the arcane and the power of belief. All must be well, Darius, because that will set us free. This world all around you, it is surrounded by a mist that cannot be traversed except for the Vestani. I have learned from the Vestani why that is. We are inside a prison. A prison that there is no escape from, because it feeds on despair and on fear and on dread. Do you see where I am going with this?
We came from one of the Vallaki camps by the city.
Mhm.
One of them had mentioned about keeping memories of times close to.
Yes. Yes, despite their despicable nature, the Vistani are very wise and very knowledgeable about the occult and the arcane. I am creating a community where we all believe that things will be well. We carry that spark of hope, of happiness in our hearts. There is no place for doubts. There is no place for sadness, for sorrow. There is no place for detractors of these ideals inside my city. We are coming closer and closer with every passing week, with every festival, of reaching a unified belief. And once we do, this whole town will be freed from the shadows. We will be freed from the mist. We will look at the sky, and the sun will come up, and it will not be the sun that has left and forsaken us. No, it will be the sun of the real world. For we will be free. That is the power of belief. And that is why I have closed the gates of the city. I cannot afford for anyone to come in here and ruin what I have created. And I cannot afford for any detractors to leave and take others with them. I need strong and capable men and women to help me maintain order. Time is almost up. Very soon, all of my hard work will come to fruition, and we will be freed. Surely you would like to go home, eh? Or if anything, leave this place behind for a world of light and joy. Do you see what I'm trying to do here?
I think Darius will be silent for a couple of seconds.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
As he kind of like ponders this, as his mind is kind of going like, "Is this dude crazy?" But maybe he has, maybe he has some truth to this.
Okay.
I think then he'll kind of say, even though you closed off the road, and you refer to this as a spark of, didn't you want that spark to also grow, spread to other places? All Vallaki as a beacon.
I would love to, and I extended such invitations to Krezik. They sent no reply. They are set in their ways. They refuse to change. They refuse to listen. And I'll be honest, I have not invited the village of Barovia because that place is cursed. It dwells in the shadow of Ravenloft. Ever has it been a land of strife and sorrow. I do not envy Kolyan Enderovich and the great burden he has to keep that place going, but I don't need his ill luck here. I can feel it coming off of his son. That is a dark and dreary place. I do not want those people coming in here and ruining everything.
Wait, go back. Why did Krezik? Isn't that the place of the Abbey ever?
Yes.
Krezk is actually what gave me the idea to seal my borders. They sealed their borders months before I did. I sent messengers there, and they were forced away at gunpoint.
It's good.
There's nothing good to know. You don't need to worry about the Krezaks. They're crazy people. Just think on the words that I have told you. Maybe talk to friends amongst your companions that are reasonable. And be careful of that dark-eyed woman. The one with no manners, the Anderson woman. I think that she has ill intent behind those eyes. I have been doing this a long time, and I know a snake when I see one. Oh, and speaking of snakes, besides her and the washerwoman, do not trust a man you meet named Vasily von Holtz. He maintains a home here in the city, and because of his station and wealth, I must abide him, coming and going from the town. But he is a servant of the devil, and it is no secret.
We met him
Truly.
at Barovia.
Hmm.
Had dinner with Mark. And
No doubt he tried to cozen you in with some polite, flowery, and well-spoken words. Like your friend Reed, he is an empty sack of air with no substance.
I will admit, back in my world, my father has been approached by people trying to get from the community. So something about him off. I don't know. I'll take your word.
Absolutely. And Darius, thank you for taking this time to speak with me. I don't share my vision with everyone, but there was something serene about your stance, your countenance. You seem like you are a man who gets things done, who isn't shaken by what the world throws at him. That is why I chose to speak with you.
I've had my share of loss. And some growth as well. The people I surround myself keep me.
Then you
Long as-
must be careful.
Why is that?
Because those you surround yourselves are not of the best people I have seen.
Respectfully, I'll be the judge of that.
Respectfully, I would tell you that allies born of convenience are not always the best allies.
There.
Now, I have kept you long enough.
Thank you for the
I will-
dinner.
Yes, I will take my dogs for a walk.
And he'll extend his hand for it.
Yeah, he shakes your hand, firm grip. He says, you didn't try to grab my wrist. That always freaks me out when they do that. And then he says, I almost forgot. And he reaches, he heads aside, he comes back out, the poop bags. And then he and his dogs head out. The dogs are not on a leash, but apparently this man believes strongly in cleaning up after your animals. So they head out on a walk.
Well behaved enough. And yet, going with everyone.
Which is a little wild because they don't have a sewer system and everyone throws their chamber pots out the window. But, you know, yeah.
I guess free
Er-
fertilizer?
Everyone's eccentric about something, I guess. All right. So,
Yes. Out of all the things we've learned about this man, that's his eccentricity.
all right. As you are getting
ready either to head inside or back around the house, Irenia pops out from the door and says, "This isn't the front. You know what? I'll take it." And she closes the door behind her. Says, "Darius, that kid is creepy."
What? You're not looking for a husband?
And she turns sort of a purplish color, and she says, Listen, I'm not the one on trial here today, sir. Let's just find the others and get out of here."
I don't know. It seems quite convinced that possibly.
Uh, I don't want to throw up all that delicious food, Darius. Please, let's just go.
Also, just for reference, just because I had sex with someone, actually,
Oh, I was just teasing you. Jeez.
I know.
But I mean, you were like going pretty hot and heavy. I mean, it sounded like you were having a pretty good time. So
It was a good night.
was it? Do you mind telling me about it, but off stream, so that we don't scandalize anyone?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So she's supposed. It's a big ask here, but she wants to hear all about it. But you're not actually going to tell us about it, because that would be a fade to black. That would be a fade to black. But it's up to you.
Darius is not going to do that because that's not.
Oh, okay.
That's as far as
All
he
right.
was going to go.
She asked but 3 times, and then when you refuse her a 3rd time, as per the Bible, she accepts that you will not tell her about your spicy encounter, and she is crestfallen.
I imagine she has a fan fiction that she was wanting to write, but Darius
yes.
Darius ain't
She
gonna
might
go for
she
it.
might have reasons. She might have reasons. All right. So everybody, I assuming you meet up out front and you re-enter the evening air. And what do you do from there, guys? You reconvene outside. You now have the town of Vallaki at your disposal, but it is late. Dinner took forever, multi-courses, sticking your foot in your mouths, all that kind of stuff. So it's already
Sure,
9 o'clock at night. So what do you do now?
Ismark. Go ahead.
When I hear Irina talking about, oh shit, what was his name? Victor?
Yes.
I say, well, if you're not interested in that son, the other one is certainly interested in you.
No, he did not. First of all, no one is really interested in me. They're just interested because, like, I'm the daughter of the burgomaster. And secondly, that Isekai, he seems like he's sort of married to his work, like he's very intense.
He couldn't keep his eyes off you. He started asking me questions about you.
Did he? What did he ask you?
He wanted to make sure that you were well taken care of.
Did you tell him I had a boyfriend?
I did not.
Did you tell him that you were my boyfriend?
I did not.
Okay.
He wanted to know if you were in a
relationship. Did you tell him that you tried to sneak a peek at me while I was peeing in the woods?
That is not what happened.
Okay, that would have been a weird thing to say at dinner, anyways.
And it is also not what happened.
Okay, so just stop beating around the bush. Tell me what you said.
What I said? I told him that your brother adores you and that he makes sure that you're well taken care of, and that I didn't think you were currently seeing anyone.
All right, checks out. Okay.
I told him that you seem to have some sort of infatuation with scarred men.
She turns sort of a reddish purple, and she says, "It's just scars are cool. That's all. It's not that they think they're
cool.
It's not that I think they're sexy, or like I lay in bed thinking about all the sexy men with scars that I've met, or like permanent 5 o'clock shadows that have like a really cool voice and accent. They work for." But I don't think about. I'm not in. Like I'm also married to my work, Tiernan. Now that we're bringing that up, so
I think you're the only one that brought that up. But yes.
All right, well,
anyway.
anyways, nothing that he asked you sounds like something that a person who is interested in another person would ask. Obviously,
he specifically asked if you were seeing anyone.
Right, like like arranged marriage type stuff.
That. He asked if you were in a relationship with any of us in the group.
So, Reed, I think you were trying to say something before Tiernan was so rude and interrupted you. What were you trying to say, Reed?
Oh, I can wait.
No, it's fine. I don't think it's very nice of Tiernan to interrupt you, because you barely ever get to say anything, so maybe you should say something.
No.
No,
I'm
I think
quite.
that's very good. Yep. Darius, you talked to the burgomaster out back. How did that go?
We can talk about it when we get.
Listen, I need someone to change the topic. I don't want to answer the questions that Tyrant's bringing up here.
I'm gonna just tell you straight.
Mm-hmm.
You're cute, but you stuff your foot in your mouth all the time.
Right, so that I don't have anything to worry about.
I don't think she has anything to worry about for. Darius just walks through the front door.
She sticks her tongue out at you, Tiernan, and follows Darius and pats Darius on the back and says, "My hero."
I will stop Ismark from going inside.
Okay.
We need to have a talk.
What do we need to talk about? It sounds like we're being forced to run errands for that asshole, so that he might consider our offer. I am curious to find out what he told Darius, because maybe that will give us better information than the bullshit that got covered at dinner.
Well, that's interesting. You're very talkative now. Why couldn't you say anything at dinner?
I don't... Because I have a bad temper, and I didn't want to lose it. If I started talking, I was worried that I would say something that would get us in trouble, or get us killed.
Well, no worse than what I said.
You did fine. How are you supposed to know the man was so unhinged? That is exactly how Vasily and my father speak to each other all the time when they have lunch.
But see, that's just it. You know this stuff. You know how to deal with these people.
No,
You may not like it, and I'm sorry to bring this up, but you are a noble, whether you like it or not. You have certain obligations. And I know you look out for the people, which is the best thing about you. But whether you like it or not, people will look to you to lead. And I know you say your father's young, and he is, but it won't last forever. Eventually, your time will come, and you have to be ready for that. The people will look to you. And right now, I'm sorry, but you're not stepping up where it counts sometimes.
where it counts, I risk my life every day, fighting monsters and killing zombies and trying to solve everyone's problems.
Yes, you do.
I make the journey all the way here. I vouch for you people. I risk my sister's life letting her come on this fool's errand. I try everything I can to get these roads reopened. My father, he died.
And
he should have seized the goods. The burgomaster was right. My father was weak and he was a fool. He should have just shut that down.
It is appreciated what you do, but part of the problem is you don't advertise that. You don't sell yourself in that regard. When you do stuff for the people like that, because you are the leader, you have to let them know. How are they going to think of you as a leader?
I am not the leader. My father is the leader. I am the lesser. Haven't you heard?
If you
I don't need to sell myself. I'm not some whore. And he turns away from you and starts to walk away.
Yeah, I do the same, and I just turn the other way.
All right.
And walk away from the inn, and I'll find somewhere to go in a little bit.
Okay. As you walk past it, the raven, which hangs out, is still hanging out at the end, just caws at you.
Well, Blue, I hope you got an ear and eye full.
It hops up and down happily.
Yeah, thanks. Making a fool of myself again, and now I'm talking to a bird.
It caws back at you.
Well, you weren't exactly a lot of help there either.
It gets real quiet, as if it has been admonished. And as you walk, it seems to be following you. As you kind of... Are you doing one of those angry walk in a city at night, even though you don't know the city well, hoping that your sense of direction will lead you back when you finally, walked out all your feels? Is that what you're doing right now?
This is the part where either, if he's the main character, he's going to meet a new fun NPC or a shady shopkeeper, or if he's a supporting character, he's going to be either killed or kidnapped. I'm here for either. I mean,
same here. Same here.
All right. What's the answer to the question? Oh man, did he actually go take a walk? Is he that like dedicated to what he's doing? Oh man. Okay. All right, fine. As he heads off into the streets of the city, Eastmark heads around the back to the stables to check on the horses. The rest of you, what do you guys do? Coming from inside the tavern are the sounds of music. You could hear that guy Rictavio, and he says, "Okay, so the next one that we're going to do is a little number I like to call Wonderwall," and he starts playing Wonderwall in there. And you guys first are like, nah, and then you hear, maybe. And then people are singing along because apparently he sings this one a lot, and you don't. That's what's happening inside. So, what do you all do?
Securus rooms. Is
Okay.
that established or no?
Yeah. I mean, if you guys were like,
you have rooms for 5 gold.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I mean, I wanna ask why he knows Wonderwall.
Sorry,
so
I just
I'm gonna
lost
hang out.
connection.
Okay. We'll get you back inside. There we go.
Did I miss anything in the last minute? Sorry.
Oh, just a,
Yes.
just a
He
ton,
actually
but that's
did walk
fine.
off.
All right. Wow, that is live action roleplay right there. Holy shit. Okay. I wanted to know, did you just start walking randomly through the city hoping that your sense of direction would guide you home?
Oh yeah.
Excellent. Okay. And that's all we hear about Reed for the rest of the session. All right. So, inside the tavern where they're playing Wonderwall, I guess I'll go turn that on. Hold on.
I'm sure you can find Bardcore Wonderwall
yeah.
somewhere.
Okay. So you guys head inside, leaving the night air behind. Eastmark at the stables, Reed heading out into the city.
Yeah, so he just walks off on his own.
Yeah. All right. The rest of you are inside, and they're in the middle of jamming out to Wonderwall. This is the most joyful and rambunctious you have seen people since you got to Barovia. These people are as happy, maybe even more happy than the Vistani at the Vistani camp. Yeah. It's almost like the Vistani have a comfortable happiness, and these people have sort of a manic, almost desperate happiness. Like the first couple of times you went somewhere after Pando lockdown ended. Like, it's just like, we have to make sure we're having fun. Which kind of, in a way, makes it more uncomfortable, right? Because, again, the Vistani...
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So, as you guys head in, and you are approached by Danica, and she says, "So, you will be taking us up on those rooms then?"
We have that task for tomorrow, but afterwards, I think.
Excellent. Well, for now, I'll take your 5 golds, and that will cover your lunch that you didn't pay for before you left. And if you would like some late dinner, I could certainly bring you something out.
No, I think we had our.
Yeah, you guys are so fucking stuffed. Like, so fucking stuffed. There was so much food. Okay. She says, "Well, I have a lot of thirsty people here, and I'm going to serve them what wine we have left."
If it covers it, we might as well ask for like some quick travel rations, right?
She says it covers 1 meal a day, and you've already eaten.
Oh, okay.
And she smiles at you and says, "But if you are hungry, there's always more."
Well, we just had a large meal.
Okay. So you guys kind of take a seat and then listen to the music and stuff. In between sets, you could approach Rictavio if you'd like.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I think Darius will kind of, like, as Danica is walking by, will kind of just, like, lean in and be like, "I think you were right about the..."
Nope, it's fine. I shouldn't have said anything, but
No.
yes.
We're right. Thank you for the warning.
All right. There's also a lot more shadowy people here. People wearing those black leathers with daggers and cowls and mini like half capes and all that.
So, Rictavio, the song there,
Oh yes.
Wonder.
Yeah.
Where did you learn that?
Ooh. Wow. I guess Bard College?
Bard College where though? Like here in Barovia?
No, I'm originally from Darkon.
What is life like in Darkon?
Well, it's a bit authoritarian. Relatively prosperous. We've got a son. That's pretty exciting. And I don't know. It wasn't terrible. It was definitely a place that kept you on your toes. You wanted to make sure that you minded your P's and your Q's and all that. You stayed out of the spotlight of certain powerful figures. And if you were in that spotlight, you managed yourself with a great deal of care. So
Is Darkon's another world? How does this?
well, I assume so. I have been asking around, not getting much information, but apparently Darkon used to be neighbors with Barovia. But the border between the realms was always shrouded in mist. But certain brave individuals, and the Vistani, of course, they would kind of go back and forth between them for trade. Apparently there was a bit of a tiff between the leadership of Darkon and Barovia. Some kind of war broke out a long time ago. And since the end of the war, relations were pretty bad, but in my lifetime at least, which is, decent enough length, I guess, the borders have always been closed, barred by a deadly mist. Not the kind of mist you'd risk going through, like, this thing is poisonous. It's that same mist that came in and snatched me up when I was with a traveling caravan.
And this song, this Wonderwall, is this
Isn't it
native?
lovely? It's kind of like, it's like the song you sing when you just can't think what song to sing,
Right. Is this native to your world? Do you know the artist who composed it, or?
I don't. It's kind of like one of the first songs they teach you. I want to say it's a little simple, but audience loves it.
It's just we have a song
Mhm.
with the exact same words and exact same tune in where I'm from, but this whole travel between realms, that's not something that normally happens where I'm from. I was very curious about how it spread, or whether it even actually started in my world, or whether it started somewhere else and they just played it off as their own.
Well, I'm assuming that you can't actually speak Darkanese, and I can't speak whatever language you're speaking, but somehow we're having this conversation right now. Maybe you're just
That's
hearing
true.
what you want to hear in the songs that I play.
Have I recognized any of the other songs?
No, because I think it would have been so jarring that I would have told you. Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe. Well, here, let me, do you take tips?
Tips, yeah, certainly, yeah.
Here, how much is it?
Oh, you just tell the bartender that you're buying me a drink, and then that goes on my tab, as it were.
Okay. And then I'll wander off.
Do you have a song that you'd like me to play? Maybe I've heard of it.
No, I like when the artist chooses.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. So you go to take care of that. How much of a drink do you buy him? You buy
I
him
have
like
no idea how much.
Okay. So when you say I'd like to buy a drink for Rictavio, Martikov, who's running the bar as he do, he says, what drink would you like to buy him?
What's his favorite?
The man tries not to drink. He just likes to have a little bit of spending money. He's been using it to try and find out as much as he can about this world and I think how to get out of it.
Yeah, it is a bit jarring being just suddenly put here.
That's what I hear. So whatever you think is fair, that would help him out. I know
Well-
he's been saving up to try and purchase access to some of the books. I know
some
he's
of those.
curious about the books kept at the Burgomaster's house, but he hasn't had the courage to head over there and try and ask for access to them himself.
Well, maybe that's how I'll tip him. Thank you.
Okay. Erwin stares at you, and this is a guy who, if he smiled, he might take psychic damage. If he really smiled, but he gives you a plastered-on grin and says, "Of course. I hope you're enjoying your stay."
I am. I have to say the Bard, brilliant addition.
Yes, that is my wife. At first, I thought maybe she was fancying him, but no, I see the reason. He is bringing real joy to these people, so much so that they don't know what to do about it.
I think mayhaps he looks a bit too boyish for her. Looking at just a quick comparison between the two of you.
Ah, you're too kind. And he runs his hands through his bristly beard.
I beard nod him, and then I sort of leave. I write on. Well, shit. I don't know if he can read what we write. I'm assuming that since we can, he could too. I'll write a quick note to Rictavio telling him about the book clubs.
Okay.
The Burgomaster's wife hosts as sort of an inn for him.
All right. So while all this is happening, what is Anna up to?
He's probably a bit tired.
Yeah, I
and
imagine.
would probably go crash somewhere.
Okay. There are with the money that you guys spent, there's a common room, and then you guys got, I believe,
she would absolutely take the
two
room with less people. Yeah.
one of the two doubles. Oh, okay, got it.
Try not to take the one with Agatha in it. Try to take the other one.
Okay, all right, fair enough. So when you go in to the room, you see that no one is there yet, and so yeah, you kind of settle in for the night. Anything noteworthy, or you just go through your evening routine of, getting settled for bed?
Evening routine, she would probably keep her weapon within arm's reach, maybe hidden a little bit.
Makes sense.
But
All
otherwise, no, that's it.
Eric, what are you getting up to?
You said there were shadowy people?
Yes. Let's see. Where are those shadowy people? Let's see. Oh, I guess I could take you over to this crowded ass scene just so you could get a better sense of just how crowded it is. All right, and we will assume Eastmark is out back. And Donkey is out back. There we go. All right. And Anna has headed up to bed. So we'll just kind of tuck Anna over here. And it's pretty crowded in there. Let's see. Tiernan, you want to talk about a good beard. Oh, man. This guy over here. It's definitely delivering. Let's see. Yeah, so you see people that are kind of like this guy. And this lady.
Yeah, she looks super sketchy.
Yeah.
I guess I would ask about that.
Okay. Who do you ask? Oh, I guess these two dudes would be gone. They'd be out hunting. The best wolf hunting is at night. We'll be out hunting.
Danica.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, you motion Danica over. She says, "Oh yes. Do you need a drink or anything?"
Yeah, who are those people?
Oh, those people who are somewhat mysterious with their dark hair and their dark clothing.
Yeah.
Those people.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. They are like rangers. You familiar with rangers?
Yes. Question
Eh,
mark.
They are outdoorsmen and women who generally spend much of their time out in the world, traveling and exploring and guiding people and things like that. They, I guess, have a small like network, a bit.
So they have information they can pass to one another, correct?
Oh, certainly, they would certainly have information for a price. But you
How
don't not
much?
need to be shy. You could go talk to them. I myself, I don't really try to get too involved.
Oh, okay. Eric will get up and walk
Mhm.
over to them.
Okay.
He doesn't want to
Uh,
like intrude if they're having a conversation, but just
Eric,
stand nearby.
you notice that the quiet drunk in the corner is just staring at you, bleary-eyed.
Ooh.
Danica sees you looking over and says, "Don't mind him. He's some sort of independently wealthy drunkard. He rolled into town, I want to say like 2 months ago. He has plenty of coin to pay his tab in his room, but he never leaves. He just sits in the corner every day. He goes by the
Okay.
name of Richard."
Richard.
Hmm.
That's a
Don't let him creep you out. He is sort of creeps out some people, but he's harmless.
very modern name. Of all the
Modern.
names he Never mind, never mind. It's nothing.
If anything, it feels a bit Krezak to me, but perhaps it's modern for where you come from.
Oh yes,
It
certainly.
certainly doesn't have the feel of an old Barovian name. But the Krezaks, they're a bit different.
Right. Thank you, Danica.
Mhm.
I'll take it from here.
Alright, so you approach this guy. Or are you approaching the lady? Which one?
This guy.
Oh, you also notice that even though it's like 9:30 at night, there's like children here at this tavern where they're getting drunk and everything. This is another slice of life because, let me tell you, a long time ago, which isn't actually that long, people used to just bring their kids to the bar. It was the Wild West.
There
But yeah,
were. I was at a bar literally like last weekend, and
Yeah.
there were like kids in it because they had
The-
like popcorn that they came in to get or something.
Yeah.
as you approach this guy, he does the cool guy thing where he like he shifts ever so slightly and his eyes kind of roll like to the side to look at you as you approach.
Yes, hello. I have seemed to come across some information in regards to you and your partner's activities amongst the land. Your
Okay.
rangers.
Let me see. Okay. He nods slowly and says, "Da, I am a ranger."
Me and my companions are new to Barovia, and
How unfortunate for you.
true. I came seeking information since it appears that you have gone far beyond where eyes have seen, and it seems we'll be traversing the land ourselves.
Indeed. You may ask of me questions 3.
Ah, shit. What questions do I ask him? Well, which place? Wait, no. You know what? Hold on.
It's just gonna be the same from the D&D
remind-
movie trailer all over again.
A
Remind me
chubby,
again.
a chubby, olive-skinned child sits down on the chair next to you. He looks like a kid who is used to being the boss, and he has a glass of milk, and he is nursing it like a 50-year-old war veteran.
Remind me about the
And
card reading.
he seems to be listening intently to you.
Fucking love that cloak.
The card reading. Remind me again.
I mean, should be a document that has the whole thing.
Where? Oh, tarot card reading. Okay.
Mhm.
Yes, I would like information regarding an evil tree that grows on top of a hill of graves.
Okay, is that the question?
Yes, a location.
That's easy enough. You will find it at the top of Yester Hill.
Yester Hill. Okay. Second question. Where would... I can't even tell this is really a question or not. Okay. I am looking for a den of wolves. Ones that do not walk on all four, but on two.
You seek the den of the werewolves.
Yes.
I see. All right. He says, map.
Question 3.
Well, okay. He will tell you. The werewolves have many layers, but the largest is west of Lake Baratok.
Are you writing this down?
Nope.
Damn it.
All right, and your last question?
Has anyone truly been able to leave this place?
Yes. Now I would ask of you, outsider. Will you answer for me questions 3?
Fair is fair, certainly.
You are walking along the road, and you see a wagon that is ahead of you turns onto the same road. From the back of the wagon, a sack falls down. The wagon does not know this and continues on its way. When you look into the sack, you see it is full of gold coins. What do you do?
That is a hard choice. I would be tempted to keep the gold. Obviously for my own benefit in these lands. But perhaps if in returning the gold, you may gain something more beneficial. Something more long-lasting. So I guess I would choose to return the gold. And hope and have faith that whoever the gold belongs to will return the gesture in kind.
All right, is that an honest answer, Eric?
To him, yeah.
Okay.
He's not selfish all the time. Jeez.
Okay. The man nods and he says, an interesting answer. I ask of you then. You visit a sphere, and you receive knowledge that a particular family has a child who will grow up to be a great and terrible warlord. A tyrant of such evil that they will bring bloodshed and destruction wherever they go. You vow to stop this before it happens. And you go to the family only to find that they have 5 children. What do you do?
Oh, this is... Yeah, this feels like a puzzle. Why are you doing this to me, Crash?
You wanted to, the guy gave you he answered 3 questions. Like it's just asking for some,
no.
yeah, some reciprocity here. That's all.
If possible, I would hope that the family raised those 5 children well enough that their nature, they will be raised to be good children. However, we do not always get what we want. Therefore, I think logically I would take it within my own hands to raise the 5 children to be as good and as righteous as I would be.
The chubby kid next to you lets out a loud burp, and he says, "So let me get this straight. You would show up at these people's house, and you would just steal their 5 children? Or you going to, like, marry them and be like their daddy or something?"
I would first reveal what has been told to me about their children.
You would just show up at their house and say, "Hey, I heard one of your kids is going to be a bad guy.
Well, considering what I've
Consider
seen...
me the new dad in the house." And you just, like, unpack your suitcase?
Well, no. Considering what I've seen upon these lands, and the creatures that we've come across, and the people we ran towards and away from, I believe I would have faith in what your seer says. Considering
Yeah, that was
me and my
never
companions...
that was never a doubt, buddy. I wanted to know you just show up and say I'm new daddy. Do I need to worry about this? Am I gonna wake up tomorrow and you're gonna say, "Hey, I'm your new daddy. I married your mom and dad"?
I guess such an approach seems too forward. I would just observe from a distance.
So you would stalk that family forever? Like a shadow?
If it means avoiding what this seer has spoken,
That's some
yes.
dedication right there. And he goes to clink his glass of milk against your. I guess yeah, they probably have a glass of milk. They got sand from the lake. Yeah. He goes to clink his glass against. Oh, he sees that you don't have a drink, and he says, "Hey, bartender, get this man the goat's milk." And the bartender comes over and he says, "Brom, I am your father, and you know where the milk is." And Brom says, "I am on the bar, I am a customer! I demand service!" And Erwin raises an eyebrow and says, "Customers have coin." And then Brom reaches into his pocket and he puts a dead beetle, a flower, and what looks like a walnut on the counter. Erwin looks down at it, says, "That'll do." And he takes all 3 of the trinkets and then pours Eric a glass of goat's milk. Then Brom turns to you and says, I'll drink to that. Here we go." Do you toast him?
Sure, because he's
All
a
right.
kid, so why not?
How's Eric feel about warm goat's milk?
He never had it.
Okay.
Hopefully,
okay.
he can stomach that shit.
That's up to you. If you feel like he would need to make a con save, it's only a DC 10.
He will.
Oh, okay. Damn. You should just told me he was into it. All right, nope.
He'll use a aspiration.
Oh, okay, yeah, the session's over, so that makes sense. All right, give me that faxpiration roll.
It's a D6.
6. D6. There you go. It almost comes back up, and you choke it down. Brom says, the lumps are the best part. So then the mysterious stranger says, I have one more question for you, stranger. There is a delicacy, sometimes served here in this tavern. It is called the fried potato. Something has happened. A curse has befallen you. And for the rest of your life, you can only dip the fried potatoes in one thing. What would it be?
Considering I've been doing this my entire life, ketchup.
Okay. The guy looks thoughtful, and Bram Mardukov says, "What is ketchup?"
It's when you smash tomato into a paste.
Tomato into a paste.
Yes. It is a delicacy used to be spread upon bread and other meaty sandwiches.
You know how to make this?
And at this point, you see that Erwin Mardukov is loitering and listening to the conversation.
I know someone who could.
Erwin says, ketchup. I'd like to learn more about this ketchup.
In due time, when I get that certain someone to
But
spread their
Bram
wisdom.
says, there's no way it's as good as mayonnaise, though. That is the best thing to dip your potatoes in. Mayonnaise. And Erwin gives him a nod like, that's my boy. That's my good boy right there.
Funny you say that, because you could do both.
Erwin steps back as if you have spoken some great magic, and Bram falls off of his bar stool.
Oh god, I catch it.
Okay. And I think that's probably a good place for us to end. Where we started, back in the Blue Water Tavern, with 50 more quests in our quest log.
God dang it.
I'll just quickly throw in that
Yeah.
is gonna use street smarts as part of his long rest activity and kind of stuff. He's gonna start using that to try and get a little bit more lay of the land of Vallaki. So, talking with patrons. I don't know, challenging them to like arm wrestling and stuff like that. Getting like gossip, starting to kind of build up a little bit of a rapport with it.
All right, let's see. Are you actually carousing, or are you trying to use information gathering as part of your resting here?
Do it.
Because gather information is what I'd be looking for in 5th edition D&D, which would essentially come down to persuasion, because you're kind of going around and speaking with people and trying to get them to dish on you like secrets and whatnot, or insight, where you're sort of listening to people talk and then discerning what is real and what is just bullshit.
Could I make this a strength persuasion, as he's like engaging in like bar games with stuff like that and like getting people to talk to him?
Strength persuasion. I would say that the majority of people are not interested in fighting or engaging with you. You have met a couple of beefy boys that would be, but yeah, you're pretty intimidating frame for a lot of these people.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Probably insight.
Okay, give me an insight check, and I will see how many rumors, if any, you are able to discern.
He'll spend.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. All right. Here we go. All right. People are talking about Lady Washer's book club. How it's way better than the Burgomaster's wife's book club because it's not school in disguise. It's actually an exclusive social club for only the most like up and coming and noteworthy people. In fact, they are so secretive and so dedicated that they sometimes have costume parties where people arrive at night dressed in robes and masks at the Washer house. That's pretty exciting.
Okay.
Hmm. Let's see. Oh, you hear rumors about these two kids that are here, these two young men. The Washer Boys is what they're called. They are the town's local, like, frat boys, essentially. They are on probation with Erwin Mardikoff, that if they start one more fight or harass one more patron, specifically lady patrons, they will be banned from the establishment, regardless of who their brother is. And they are definitely some rowdy and impolite and spoiled young men.
Reach
And
people.
let's see. Oh, okay. Let's see. You hear that living outside of town with the Vistani are the Dusk Elves. They were an indigenous people of Barovia living alongside the Kavani, and they incurred the wrath of Strahd von Zarovich to the point that all the female members of their species were executed. And if any female elves are ever found in Barovia, they are hunted down and executed because Strahd wants them to remember what they did and what they lost, which is the continuation of their species.
God damn.
Yeah. And that the man who did the executions was a Dusk Elf in the service of Strahd von Zarovich. A person known as Rahadim. And Rahadim, his name is spoken with hushed fear when it comes up in the conversation. And that's where we'll end for the week, with even more stuff added to your quest log.
Wait, can we sleep real quick?
Oh, right. And if you're all in agreement, and assuming that Reed survives the night, well, it shouldn't affect the rest of you. You guys would level up. So Reed, just level up just in case you do live through the night, and then everyone else can level up. Because you have hit the milestone. Complete a long rest in the town of Vallaki. So congratulations.
I can finally get rid of this damn wound.
So you would handle all of that business accordingly, and then you guys would level up essentially. So. Congratulations. I think many of you would be accessing subclasses now, right? Is that
Yeah.
Okay.
Yup.
cool? So if you want to come up with something cool or thematic to explain that at the beginning of next session, you certainly can, but you are not required to.
All right.
Easy.
How many healers kit charges do we have?
Mackenzie has. I thought she had 5. I don't know. How many do you have? I think it looks like she has 1 on her.
Okay, I've only got 4. So let's use all 5 of those to try to set my foot, and then we're gonna cash in our store credit for healers kits.
Right, because I think we were gonna purchase whatever he had in stock.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, technically that would have been like earlier in the day, so we would have done that.
Can Tiernan also, with Anna, not Anna, Irina's assistance, also help Eric with his festering wound?
Yes.
Okay.
And that is a dirty
Oh.
20.
Thank God. Thank you very much.
And would because I'm assuming because we already gone to the apothecary and bought some of this stuff, so we got the kind of backlog. From what healers kits we do have, would you be and another 5 to set Mackenzie's arm?
Yeah, it just takes an hour each time, I think, like as part of like a short rest. So yeah, I'll set my foot, and then I'll set Mackenzie's, and then we'll do Eric's thing.
Handle that next or offline.
There you go. That's 2 nat 20s on my medicine checks.
Incredible. If
Nat
you're only going to
20
roll a few dice in the session, that's a good one to roll it on.
A nat 20, a dirty 20, and a nat 20.
All right. I gotta ask, Reed, how many hours do you walk before you feel that you've cooled down and head back?
Maybe 2-3 tops.
Okay. Let me
I'll
roll
say
some
2
dice.
hours, but yeah.
Let me roll some dice here. Okay. All right. It is quiet. It is dark. Nothing interesting seems to happen to you, nor does anything catch your eye. And so you would return safely, and then also be able to level up alongside everybody else. But I wanted to get that sorted before we end the session. Not that it's dangerous, obviously. All will be well in the city of Vallaki, or the town of Vallaki for sure. But just in case. Okay. Any other questions before I head out? You guys are welcome to hang out and plot and plan and level up and do all the things that you need to do. And I will announce, I guess, on Discord as I get more of the shops finished. I will drag them out onto here. I'm only going to drag the ones out for now that you have visited. But as I complete them, I will drag them out onto this desktop so that you can go to them. So, all right. So, any other questions for me? Otherwise, I'm gonna go grab some food.
All right.
See you.
All right.
Thanks for running.
All right.
You-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Later.